Broadcasting live from the ESPN Radio Winchester studios, airing out the beef and settling the score. It's time for Where's the Beef Wednesday on Franklin County's favorite morning show. The starting lineup, fueled by Loco Coffee. And now for your hosts, Joe Abraham and Chewy.
And good morning, and welcome into the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340, 1069, WCDT Winchester. I am Joe Abraham, in studio this morning on a Where's the Beef Wednesday. Beautiful day here in southern Middle Tennessee, alongside Chewy.
Good morning.
Good morning, my friend.
How are you?
I am tremendous. I'm wearing a new shirt today. We're starting our campaign. It says on it, if you can't read it because you're not on the FMO Facebook feed, it says Vote Chewy for Supreme Galactic Emperor.
It's a beautiful shirt.
So if you're wondering, next time you step into the voters booth, just write that one in.
Speaking of the FMO Facebook stream,
yeah.
Brett Crabtree is already here this morning.
Brett beats me into the studio.
Yeah.
He's already into the stream. Also in the studio with us this morning is Ricky Tips, the Humpback Swamp Donkey. Good morning to you, my friend.
Morning. How are y'all doing?
I am, once again, tremendous. Chewy, how are you today?
I'm fine. I'm good. How
I
are
already
you?
got to mess with Chewy this morning, so it's been a good day.
It's been a couple rough days for Chewy.
For me? This morning I was pulling out of the square.
Yeah.
And, it's only like a 30-mile zone right there.
Yeah.
So I'm going.
It's not very fast.
And I'll admit, I'm going like 35.
Yeah.
And I look in my rearview mirror right as you pass, get out of the square, and this car is right on my bumper.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, he's going to. So I speed up a little bit,
Uh-huh.
and I'm going 38 almost now in the 30. And I look back.
Slow down, Speed Racer.
Dude, it's still on my bumper. And I was like, this is ridiculous. He is not this impatient. So we finally get to the boulevard up here, and now the speed limit's 40. So I'm going 45.
Yeah. Revved it up.
And dude is still on my bumper.
Right on you.
Yeah, and I was just like, this is ridiculous. And so I look back in the rearview mirror, and I see Ricky Tips' big-ass smile in the sunshine. And I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Oh, man.
And but I was like, for a minute there, I was like, have I done something?
Maybe somebody was trying to chase you down for your autograph.
I don't know, but anyway, when I saw who it was, I was like, I was just like, all right, it's like it started. It's like we're not even at work yet.
Didn't even start the day right. So this morning on the show, we're going to have Ashton Danley in studio. I'm really excited about that. We made a Facebook post yesterday, picked up quite a bit of traction late last evening. And she's going to be here shortly. She, according to Michael, she had to play some vehicle Tetris to get her car out of the driveway this morning. So she's on her way. We got six cars in the driveway. It took her a little while.
They don't have a big driveway either.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that she is. She'll be here shortly. But I'm really excited because also it is the opening. Well, not the opening day of the Women's College World Series, but it's the opening day of the finals. It's the first game of the finals, and what better day to have her on, right? Than now. It would be better if she was playing in it, of course. But here we talked about this before. Starting lineup, Chewy, where champions are made.
Oh,
I've been saying this.
You want to see if that mojo can.
We're getting ready.
Going.
We're getting her ready for next year.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're gonna get into that, but before we do, we got to take a second because we would be burying the lead if we did not talk about this. So yesterday, we get done with the show, and we had a guest show up at the front door. It was actually Charles Keller stopped by, and we spoke. More on that later as well. But Charles and I were standing there talking. And I am facing, I don't know, one half of the building towards the studio. And all of a sudden, up the hallway, I see this animal. And I'm thinking, when did we get a cat at the radio station? This animal is coming up the hallway towards me, Charles got his back turned. And I stick my head, and it's a groundhog. and these groundhogs, we've talked about this before, who have been eating through the bottom of the station. One of them came up through the floor and started like just hanging out with us in the studio, in the station. So
I'd have loved to see y'all capture it.
oh, it was.
I've got it recorded.
Yeah, there's video.
Yeah,
video
I'm-
evidence.
I'm putting together a video.
And so Charles was like, "What the heck was that?" And I'm like, "You don't even want to know." So so we somehow corral it into one of the offices and close the door. And Chewy's like, "You want me to shoo it outside?" And I'm like, "No, don't put it back outside. We'll figure out what to do with it when I'm done here. Just leave it there." So we do. We end up capturing it in a box in like a crate. And I tell you what, nature is trying to reclaim this building.
Mm-hmm.
We joke about the foliage on the walls here in the studio, but we got the Virginia creeper coming up the building with all the rain that we've had, and now we got animals coming in. Oh, Rosie, I gotta lock you up. You gotta go to bed, sweetie. That was not a groundhog that went by us just now.
That'd be a big ass groundhog.
The same size as the one that took out yesterday.
Yeah.
I listen. I don't know what to do about this. This is ridiculous, and there's more to that story, but you'll have to. I don't know if I can tell that story on air. The rest of that story. But anyway,
Needless to say, that groundhog won't be bothering us anymore.
no, not that one. We're one groundhog down. Oh, so this morning with us. Good morning. We've got Ashton Danley in studio with us. We'll introduce her real quick before we hit the first break of the show. At Miss Ashton, this is Rosie. Sorry, she's harmless. Good morning. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I am tremendous. So we were just mentioning this before you got here. The World Series final starts today, and you guys obviously disappointed that you didn't make it to the game and to the series, but it's okay because we have had a tremendous amount of success building champions right here on this show. This is Chewy, by the way, if you don't know him.
Hi.
Hi.
I've seen you on TV.
You know, yeah, you know Ricky, of course. But I just want to say we've had a lot of people come in, and sure enough, they end up going on to some really great things. You've already accomplished some great things, so we're gonna try and schlup off some of that onto you, and you can take it back down to Florida State, to Tallahassee. But I really appreciate you taking some time for us this morning. What are you doing with your time right now over the summer? How is your off season kind of getting started?
Well, I just got a new puppy on Sunday.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nice.
So I'm basically have a child.
Yeah.
And just resting, hanging out with family.
Yeah.
And then in July I'll start back with softball, but just working out and stuff right
so
now.
you get basically like a month off to kind of come see family and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you're still probably like working out and doing all that, your normal off season on your own stuff. What kind of puppy did you get?
I got a micro mini doodle.
A micro mini doodle. So it's smaller than just a regular mini doodle.
Yeah.
It's micro.
He's tiny, but he's cute.
You gotta be careful. Don't bring it around here. Chewy will step on it.
Yeah.
So what made you get the dog?
Well, my roommate transferred out.
Okay.
And I have a 4-bedroom house. And so my dad was like, if you don't get a roommate, then you can get a dog.
Oh.
So I got a dog.
So you stopped taking applications and you got a dog.
Got
There
a dog.
you go.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting. What is is it a boy dog or a girl
It's a
dog?
boy.
What did you name it?
Teddy.
Teddy, the micro mini doodle.
Nice.
All right, I like it. All right, so we're gonna take a quick break here. When we come back in just a moment, we'll get into things with Miss Ashton Danley in studio with us. Before we do that, I want to let you guys know that over there at Backstage Pawn, just around the corner, if you guys have gotten that tax refund back, then you can go over there and you can check out their inventory. It is always changing. But even if you haven't, they have financing and layaway available. And if you're like me and you got, I don't know, varmints around your station or your property or whatever the case is, and you need to pick up some help with that, they can help you with that. Certainly. Go over there and stop in a Backstage Pawn. And, again, they've got all kinds of knives. We talked about their knife inventory in the past, firearms, ammo, great prices on all of that stuff. We'll be back on the other side with Ashton Danley in studio. This is the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340, 1069, WCDT Winchester.
This spring, take pride in your yard with Flagship Lawn Services. From mowing and trimming to mulch and full cleanups, they deliver professional results at a fair, honest price. And with their Flagship Finish Guarantee, every job is done right, or they'll make it right. No shortcuts, no hassle. Just a yard that looks the way it should. Call or text Flagship Lawn Services today at 239-849-4033 and see the difference for yourself.
From the 931 Weather Center, it's time for an ESPN Winchester weather update.
Looks like that rain is behind us because today's going to be a bright, beautiful, and sunny day with a high of around 80 degrees this afternoon. We got some calm winds coming in from the southeast as well at only around 5 miles per hour this afternoon to keep you nice and cool during this beautiful weather. Stay tuned to ESPN Radio Winchester for all of your wonderful weather updates.
This is ESPN Radio Winchester, where Franklin County comes to life. From local news and athletics to everything in between, we're proud to bring you the stories that matter right here at home. And it's all made possible by local businesses connecting with real people in our community every single day. When you support them, you support our local coverage. Over 75 years of Franklin County heritage. Want your business to be a part of it? Contact WCDT today. ESPN Radio Winchester. Franklin County plays here.
You're listening to the starting lineup, fueled by Loco Coffee, on ESPN Radio 1340, 1069, WCDT Winchester.
All right, back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340, 1069, WCDT Winchester. Joe Abraham alongside Ricky Tips, Chewy, and Miss Ashton Danley in studio with us this morning. You can get involved in the show. You can text the show, 931-305-5611. If you've got questions for Miss Ashton, you can drop them in on the FMO Facebook feed, which you can pull up the show and watch us in studio over on Facebook at Facebook.com/ESPN Winchester. And I'm excited.
I want to put you on the spot real quick.
Yeah.
Who's going to win? You've seen both of them play this year.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Texas Tech, but I think they'll have to go to a game 3. But I'm going to choose Tech.
Too much offense?
I think so, and I think the fuel of them losing to them last year, and I think they're seeing the ball well, and Nyjah and Caitlin Terry are complimenting each other really well. I mean, I think Texas will give them all they want because they definitely stepped it up yesterday.
I thought Tennessee. I can't believe Tennessee blew both of them.
Yeah, I knew once they lost the first one, it was going to be hard because you can't let a team like that get momentum, and then you had Tegan rested, so she was ready, and I think that's the best she's pitched in a few games that I've watched. But yeah, I'm going to go Tech.
It felt the same way as well with Alabama. Alabama dropped that first game, and you're like, there is almost no way. I couldn't see them winning that second game, especially the way that Nyjah was pitching. Yeah. And when they put her out there, you just kind of had the feeling after the first couple innings, you're like, oh, boy, this is going to be tough. Yeah. All right, so for people that maybe don't know you, because, not everybody in town is as familiar with you as Ricky Tips, and there are a lot of folks who are new to the area and things like that, but tell us a little bit about growing up playing for Huntland and how you got involved in softball in the first place.
Yeah, so when I was younger, my older sister, Maddie, she played softball, and obviously my parents, put me in T-ball or rec ball, or I don't know, whatever you play when you're that young, I don't remember, but my sister started pitching lessons, and I wanted to be just like her, so then I went to pitching lessons. So I would pitch, and she would catch me, and then whenever she would pitch, I would catch her. So I just wanted to do everything that she wanted to do. And then I played for a little team called Explosion, little local team. A lot of girls from Winchester area, some people from Huntland I think played. Just kind of played locally. I always played up when I was younger, so I always played with my sister. And then the older girls. And then I finally went and played for a new coach, but at the time I'd only played for my dad. And I
Right.
was like, I don't want to go. Like, I want to
Yeah.
play for you, you know? So I was probably maybe 7 then, I think. Maybe, yeah, 7. And so I played for a coach named Tommy Bain out of Eagleville. And his daughter actually is a freshman at Arkansas, Brinley Bain.
Okay.
So I played with her. And
She's only a freshman?
yeah.
Wow.
Freshman, yeah. So played with them until I think it was my first year of 10U. And then my dad ended up taking over. So then I played with my dad on. And then he also coached my middle school team. So I went to North for middle school.
Yeah.
And then my sister went to Huntland in high school. And my parents obviously wanted me to go to Huntland. So went to Huntland. I was a little scared. I was like, I feel like I'm on an island. You know, I don't
Right.
know anybody. All my friends went to FC. Ended up being like the best decision of my life. Like such a good high school experience. And then at first I was just super nervous to play at Huntland because everyone knew me as like, oh, like she's committed to Florida State. Oh, you know, she's supposed to like never get out. Or,
Right.
you know, never let anyone hit off of her. You know, just expectations of people. And
Right.
I was like, I don't know if I can do it. Like, I don't know if I can, you know, with all of that, you know, weight on me. And ended up being so good for me and learned that, you know, just not everybody's going to have the same drive as you, but that's okay because we ended up going to states,
Right.
you know, and we competed. We, you know, gave it a run. So, yeah, Huntland taught me a lot. And I also played basketball
Hey,
in
talk,
Huntland.
talk about committing as a 7th grader.
Well, and I was going to ask you, you know, like at what point did you realize, because you were very young, but at what point did you realize that softball might take you beyond high school?
Yeah, I will say I'm grateful for my dad. He was really realistic with me on, you know, like you have the ability to go, you know, you have the ability to be great. And so once that was kind of instilled in me, that was like, obviously it was, I think everyone's dream is to, you know, play in college and play the best of the best. But
Right.
he was really realistic with me and was like, you're good enough to play there. And at the time, my dream schools were Tennessee and Oklahoma. Like that's where I wanted to go. And just went there, and it just didn't really feel like home at the time. And me as a 7th grader, like, you're like, how do you even know that? But
Right.
I don't know. I just felt it. And so actually I picked up with a team in Florida, and she actually went to Florida State and played softball. So she was an alumni. And at the time it was whenever my dad, because he was my travel ball coach, wanted to get connections with, you know, all the schools just for us girls to
Right.
kind of get seen, I guess. And she was like, do me a favor, they have a little Monday night clinic. So it was like hour and a half. You can do pitching and hitting and just go. And it was to let my dad kind of get to know them a little bit. And I
Right.
mean, obviously good to get me on that stage as well. And I went and I literally like fell in love with it.
Yeah.
And
I think that's interesting because you talk about, you know, the expectation of kind of going to Franklin County versus Huntland. You ended up at Huntland where you ended up feeling more at home in Huntland, and then you kind of did the same thing. The expectation might be that you'd go to Tennessee and play for the Vols. You know, they had a tremendous softball rich history as well, and you mentioned Oklahoma, and then you end up at Florida State where it just feels more like home. So I think that's a interesting dynamic. And you know, you mentioned playing down there at Huntland. We've talked in the past. They've got such a unique but proud tradition down there. How did playing in Huntland, you feel like, shape you in a unique way to now you're on such a huge stage versus playing in such a small town? What do you think you learned from playing in a small town like that helps you now?
yeah, I think like the importance of community and like who you're around. I mean, I can remember like playing at Huntland and like there was no seats.
Right.
I mean, we ended up putting a deck in the outfield. The deck would be full, cars would be parked everywhere. Like it was just super cool just to see kind of softball grow, I guess, in Huntland. Obviously, I don't know how it was before I got there, but just seeing everyone just wanting to support and maybe people that had never even watched softball might have came, you know?
Yeah.
So, and then I just remember when we went to state, like people were taking off work and they came up there, you know, people were lined up and down. Like even when we got into Winchester, like people had like state bound, like they were just so supportive.
Yeah.
I think it kind of taught me just like to have fun, you know, because I think all my life you play travel ball and everything's so competitive. You know, it's, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that. And high school ball, you don't have to do it. You know, like it's fun. Obviously, you want to win and you want to compete. But I was out there playing with my best friends and still some of my best friends today. And obviously, I have best friends on my Florida State team. But it's just super fun just to, and then I think too, just to see the growth of the other girls. Because when you surround yourself with people that want to be better, it makes you want to be better.
Right.
And I think the same way, like with me in basketball, I loved basketball, but I wasn't great at it. I didn't work at it, but I did my best that I could when I was in. But there were girls on my team that worked at it and went on to play in college. And it made me want to be really good for them because I knew how bad they wanted it.
Right.
And I feel like on the softball field, we all grew as a team because of how there was a few girls that really, really wanted it, and it made everyone else better.
Well, we talked about that in the past around here about how culture can spread even from sport to sport, because you have a lot of kids who they'll play softball, they'll play basketball, they'll play these different sports. Here at Franklin County, there's a lot of girls that play on the soccer team, right? And they went on and they won the state championship in soccer, and then they kind of carry that mentality over into some of the other sports that they play. But how important would you say culture is to an athletic program or to a team?
I think it's the most, if not the most important, but 100% I think like the most important thing. I mean, culture, we live off of that at Florida State. It's in our like daily talk, we talk about it all the time. But I think culture is just like how you represent a team. We always say, like, you're not playing for the name that's on the back of the jersey. You're playing for the name that's on the front. And I think if you get a bunch of girls that do that and aren't worried about themselves, and the culture just begins to shape itself.
Yeah.
And I also think it's important, you know, whoever came before you. So the people that played at Huntland before me, like, they shaped and built what Huntland is now.
Yeah.
And same thing at Florida State. Like, the girls that played in that program and built the program to what it is, like, it wouldn't be that without them.
Yeah. You guys look like you're having so much fun. And I say you guys, but really, I have started to get more and more into softball, and credit to Ricky, women's athletics more in general. I from traveling around with the basketball team to the softball stuff, I cannot believe how much fun y'all have when you play. And then, too, not just you see it on TV. If anybody's been paying attention to the Women's College World Series, name a more dramatic sport to watch, and I'll wait, because y'all have the ability. Once you get going, the momentum can change in an instant. You guys hit bombs like in the most clutch moments. It's so fun to watch. And all of these high drama moments that we look for in sports, you can find them right there. You just got to know where to look. But talk about the amount of fun that you guys have, and you know, where does that what does that come from when you're on the field with the other girls?
I think just, you know, when you're prepared, and obviously like at Florida State in the fall we prep, like we have 20-hour weeks. Our fall's hard. It's hard for everybody. But when you get into season, like, that's not time to figure it out then. Like, you should already know what you're doing, and having fun just allows you to be loose. When you're stiff, you don't play well. Like,
right.
That's in anything, you know?
I always thought that it was like, if I'm having too much fun, then I'm not focused.
Yeah.
You know, I got to be focused. But you guys, you're doing all this crazy stuff, and you're having so much fun, and you still are locked in. And I can't, like, I don't understand how that even works.
Yeah.
But it's like you play better the more fun that you're having.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a happy medium of like, okay, am I being like, is it too silly?
Right,
You know,
too
like,
goofy,
obviously,
yeah.
like, it's serious, but you can't play a game and just be standing there like, okay, like, I have to be, you know, super serious, because then it takes the fun out of the A. And I think the reason that you play softball is obviously like being competitive, and when you're playing something that you love and competing, like, obviously that's super fun, but
Right.
just, I think the people that you surround yourself with also help. Like, if you're around people that you don't really get along with, or
Yeah.
don't really love, or they don't really feel like family, then it's hard to have fun, I guess, with those people in those moments. So I definitely think having fun is, and also I think having fun keeps you loose. So if you think about it, when you're loose, you play better
Yeah.
during
Yeah.
any sport. So yeah.
What's the biggest difference between playing now at Florida State versus playing at Huntland?
Yeah, I thought that when I went into college that I would be pretty much ready for everything. You know, I played competitively in travel ball and played a lot of girls that I play now, and even in Huntland, like played some really good competition. But you can't take a pitch off. Like, it's mentally fatiguing, whereas like I think I got more like physically fatigued in like high school ball and travel ball, just because like every single pitch, like when I'm on the mound, every single pitch has to be my best pitch. Like I can't take a pitch off.
If you miss, they will make you
Yeah,
pay.
yeah, I'm facing, best hitters in the country, and in the box, like can't take a pitch off. You know,
Yeah.
if I do, I'm gonna miss the one that I'm supposed to hit. Could be a game-winning catch in the outfield. You've seen how many diving catches. I think Tennessee made 2 or 3, saving diving catches. So just the importance of being in every pitch, I think that's like that was like the biggest transition to me. I remember talking to my dad and I was like, I'm like tired, like I'm exhausted. And he's like, why are you so tired? Like, you've done this your whole life. And I'm like, I don't know, but it's really exhausting. But I think it's the mental part that's more fatiguing than anything and was probably the biggest difference.
So I've got your page from the Florida State website pulled up on my phone right here, and it's got the list of honors and awards, for the last few years. It's a long list, but when we come back on the other side, I have heard that number one, I think that she's the only 2-time Owl Award winner. Is that correct?
No, she's not the only one that's won 2. She won
the
first, and she was the only one won twice in the same year.
In the same year.
Yeah.
But I also heard that your Owl Awards are some of your favorite awards that you've ever won. I don't know how much truth there is to that, but we'll talk about it on the other side. I think that the awards are going to continue to rack up for you here in this next year, and I'm really excited for what the future holds for you and for Florida State. We'll talk about it when we come back. We've got Ashton Danley in studio. We now have Michael Danley somewhere around here in studio as well. He's sitting in a chair behind me.
Better act right.
And yeah, I know it. And I'll hand it off to a man that knows you extremely well as well in Ricky Tips to ask you some questions and really kind of get down to the meat of the matter here with you again here on the starting lineup with Ashton Danley. It is ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester.
Lineup with Joe and Chewy is presented by Loco in Winchester. Right here in Winchester, Loco is doing things their own way. From locally roasted Loco coffee to a one-of-a-kind shop experience. It's a place that's built for the Franklin County community. So if you haven't stopped by yet, now's the time. Support local. Drink Loco coffee, fueling Franklin County mornings. Roasted right here in Franklin County. And don't forget to tune into the starting lineup, weekdays from 7 to 9.
Hey, it's Chewy, and if you've got pests, you need the folks that I trust. Burrow's Termite and Pest Control. They're right here in the heart of Estill Springs at 101 North Main Street, taking care of everything from termites and ants to spiders and those little critters that love sneaking into your home. Burrow's is family-owned, they're local, and they've been protecting homes around here for years. So don't wait, swing by or check them out over there online at burrowstermite.com. Burrow's Termite and Pest Control. They'll treat you right and treat your home even better.
It's time for a local news break from the 931 Go News Center.
The Estill Springs Police Department is reminding drivers that summer school is now in session at Rock Creek School. Summer programs begin June 1st and will run through June 25th in Estill Springs. Officers are urging motorists to slow down and remain alert as students, staff, and families travel to and from campus throughout the day. Police emphasize that automated speed enforcement remains active when school zone lights are flashing. In Estill Springs, those flashing light times are 8 a.m. through 3 p.m. Officials say slowing down in school zones is one of the simplest and most important ways to help protect children during summer programming. Drivers are encouraged to follow all posted speed limits and use extra caution near crosswalks, buses, and school entrances. In Tullahoma, city officials are responding to recent criticism from local businesses regarding event permitting and what some have described as excessive red tape. Organizers for the inaugural Banana Pudding Festival, along with ownership of Neon Alley Arcade and Bar, have publicly voiced frustrations about the city's permitting process for public events. Neon Alley recently took to social media, expressing concerns about delays affecting its outdoor space. Community Engagement Officer Lyle Russell said the city requires certain permits and safety measures for all public events. He stated those requirements are not intended to hinder businesses, but are in place to protect public safety and ensure events operate within established guidelines. While questions have been raised about why certain permits were not approved despite vendors registering in a timely manner, city officials did not provide additional details regarding specific delays. The Banana Pudding Festival organizer, Brianna Hale, previously stated she was treated rudely by city staff and has vowed not to host future events in Tullahoma. Neon Alley ownership, however, has indicated a willingness to work with city leaders to resolve outstanding concerns and move forward. For more details on these stories and more, visit 931go.com. Stay informed and stay connected to your community with ESPN Radio Winchester.
This is Daryl from Columbus, previously from the Paul Feinbaum Show.
Check in scissor hands. I'm the wrong guy to ask, but what's the secret to a good haircut?
A good haircut makes you feel confident. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, when you get that haircut, you're going to walk out that barbershop, you're going to look in the mirror, and you're going to be like, yeah, that's it. And you're going to tip the barber.
The Paul Feinbaum Show, weekdays at 3 Eastern on the ESPN app and on the SEC network.
You're listening to the starting lineup, fueled by Loco Coffee, on ESPN Radio 1340, 1069, WCDT, Winchester.
Back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340, 1069, WCDT, Winchester. Joe Abraham, Ricky Tips, Chewy, and we are joined by Ashton Danley in studio this morning. And lots of comments over there on the Facebook feed there, Chewy.
That's right. Brett Crabtree jumped in talking about. He said her dad coached me in baseball and football. So I thought
that just shows how old you are, Brett.
Yeah. Megan Tips jumped in saying the old explosion days are elite, and Chalet Garner said that I agree, Meg. Andrew jumped in this morning. Megan Tips came back saying she learned how to hit bombs in the cow pasture, and then Suzanne Pittenger said, "Such a great young lady. Love watching you, Ash."
Chalet and Meg are up this early.
Yeah. Watching Ashton on here. So again, Ashton Danley in studio with us, and it's a long journey from Tallahassee. One of the things that gets to me though is seeing you up there on the TV, and knowing that you've got the roots right back here at home. But when you step on the field at Florida State, and you know that you're obviously representing your hometown and things like that, does it ever cross your mind? Like, are you ever thinking about, things like that, or are you just so locked in that none of that really enters your mind? Or do you consider who and what you play for when you step on the field?
No, definitely think about, where I came from and what it's taken to get there. But we say it all the time on our team. Like, sometimes we forget we're on TV. Like, we're just out there, like, playing and having fun, and we'll do something, and we're like, oh, that was on TV, So, yeah, but I think just obviously, like, representing something bigger than myself when I'm out there. Every single game is something that I try to do, and obviously, like, super proud of where I came from and what this town has done, and even, like, Huntland and everybody. So, and then I think just everyone that supports me. I mean, Megan and Chalet, like, played with him at Huntland, you know, so played with Chalet at North too. But, and then obviously Megan with Explosion and everything. But yeah, so just super cool. I mean, those girls obviously like up this early, listening in. So yeah, just super grateful for this town. And I think just this year, like, get on Facebook and just see people, just supporting, and just people that text them or comment on their posts. So just everyone's always supporting, and it's just means a lot, and just super grateful that, we have a town that's so supportive, because I know there's a lot of girls on my team that don't have that.
Really?
All right, so here's a question for you. What would you say to someone, I've got an incoming freshman this year. It's going to be playing down at Huntland, playing ball down there and cheering. What would you tell her? What advice would you give her now as going in as a freshman in high school? Someone who's done this and now done it at a very high level.
Yeah, it goes fast. I think high school is one of the best years of your lives, and don't take it for granted. And it can be frustrating, and I think it really tells a lot about who you become, because I feel like those times in your life are super important. I mean, what is she, 14 now?
Yeah.
And she'll graduate and she'll be 18, so she'll be an adult. And I just think, like, just enjoy the moment, make friends, do all the things, try everything. Like, don't, if you want to play soccer and you want to do cheer, like, you don't have to quit. Like, you can play both. I think it's really good for you, and I think it teaches you time management, and I think just being competitive and trying to be the best on the team, and I think it's just fun because you get to play with your friends. Like, I just think that's, like, super cool, and you grow up with them, basically, So just embrace the moment and enjoy every moment because it does go by fast. I'm a junior now, and I feel like I can remember.
You're a senior now.
Oh, yeah, I am a senior, yeah. And I can remember when I was a freshman at Huntland.
So speaking of being a senior, last year, your junior year, well, let's go your freshman year. You're part of a pretty touted freshman class that came into Florida State. Y'all had some really good players in there. Look at the left side of your infield. And then, when you play in the left field, I always laugh. I was like, that whole left side was one class of just stacked kids. Well, y'all had a freshman class this year that came in that was pretty touted. I mean, there's some great freshmen. Y'all played a lot of freshmen. What advice and what did y'all have to do for that? The difference in, I guess, the way when you came in your freshman year, did you learn some things that you passed on to those freshmen this year?
Yeah, so we started off the year in London, which I think was really big for us because there was 9 freshmen that came in, and we had 9 seniors graduate the year before. So basically, we had a new team basically because 9 new people. That's a lot of people to get to know. And so London was really good for us, and just being able to kind of know each other off the softball field, because I think you can play with someone, but you can't really get down to, what you need to talk about or how you deal with the situation if you don't know who they are as a person. And so I think we really tried to figure that out and build the relationship off the field before we got on the field and build the relationships. But my freshman year, we had a lot of really good upperclassmen, that kind of took us under their wing. Obviously, they had played at some really pretty high stages. They had been to the World Series, all the things. And so they were just really important and made sure that we kind of understood what it took to get there. And I think that now as a junior this past year and the freshmen coming in, we tried to share our experiences with them so that they kind of had a feel. Obviously, you don't know what it's like until you're out there on the field, but try to share as much as we could. And obviously, me being a pitcher, Bella Dimitrievich she had some really big moments for us this year as a pitcher, and just I tried to pour into her as much as I could. Just knowing what I went through freshman year on the mound was pretty difficult for me, but just try to learn from that and help her as much as I could, and just try to give the freshmen like that home feeling so they could be themselves. I think sometimes it hurts freshmen when they come in, and if you have upperclassmen that are, mean or belittle them because they're a freshman, like they're not going to grow. And I think Florida State and I think our upperclassmen did a really good job of making them feel like not freshmen, so they were able to speak their mind. They were able to come out of their shell and be who they are. Without feeling judged or the fear of, whatever it may be, because us as girls, we tend to have a little bit more emotion and scared of like, oh, what is she going to think of me type of thing. So we did a really good job of just making sure that they felt at home and welcomed, and, they were just as important as the seniors last year. So I think that was really big for them, and just the ability for them to grow. And I mean, you saw, if you watched, how much they impacted our team this past year. So they're going to be huge for us in the next few years.
Yeah, they had some really key plays. They had to play.
Yeah.
You had, 3 that started, I think?
Well, Anna and McKenna, freshman All-Americans.
Yeah. And Marin.
Yeah.
What?
I'd say Hine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Let me ask this. So you got a chance to see, and obviously you had a tremendous season. You're an All-American as well. But you got a chance to witness Issa have one of the greatest seasons like ever. And I'm sure that there's a level of competitive nature between the two of you guys, and the level of success that you're both having at the plate and on the field. Obviously, you want to work together, but just speak to witnessing that firsthand, because there were times where watching it, you're like, at some point in time, she's got to cool off. At some point in time, this has got to. And she just continued to do things that were amazing all year long. What was that like from your perspective?
Yeah, it was insane. I mean, I think we talked about it. Like, you've never seen a player do that before. Like, going 16 for 16. Like, that's insane,
Yeah.
So, but, I mean, just props to her. She came in the fall and she wanted to be great. She wanted to be consistent, and she worked her butt off, and obviously like that showed in season when it needed to. Not even like that, but like defensively, she had no errors in regular season. Like that's crazy,
Yeah.
you know. So
As a shortstop.
and she gets a lot of balls. So just the competitor that she is just super fun to watch, and just the level of wanting to make others better and always smiling. Like she's always like that. She's like, when we talk about having fun, like she's always having fun.
Yeah.
Like she's always smiling. She's always dancing. Like whatever she needs to do to just go out there and compete, like she's gonna do it. And we joke, but our coaches actually told us that we didn't need to hit as much as we did this year, you know. So we would be in the cages before a game, you know, like we'd go early and we'd hit for an hour, you know.
Right.
So just the level of preparation, and I think that also comes with, you know, being an upperclassman now. We kind of have a feel for it, and then you figure out, oh, this works for me, and then you see it obviously play in a game, and just the ability and what she was able to do. But I think what makes her awesome is she can bunt. Like she literally can lay down bunt. She's safe, and then you bring her up, and then she's gonna hit a ball 70 mile an hour past your head.
Yeah.
So we joke all the time, like, oh, I'd hate to be a third baseman when she's playing, because, you know, you don't know, is she gonna bunt it? Is she gonna hit it past you?
Yeah.
Knock your teeth out. So, but yeah, she had an incredible season, and just super cool to see everything that she did, and just
When she was on the streak, is it like, you know, baseball players are very superstitious? Did you guys all stop talking to her or something? Or how did that go?
Honestly, I don't know. So we were in Coastal Carolina, and I remember she went 6 for 6 in a one game.
Yeah.
And that was like, no one ever done that before.
Yeah.
At Florida State. And then I think after that, we were kind of like, holy crap. Because I think like you play the game and you get in the moment, and you're not really like, oh,
Don't really
she's
think
been on
about
base
it.
every single time. And
Yeah.
then, you know, you hear that and you're like, whoa, like that's crazy. Like she was 6 for 6. And then, you know, then the next time it's like, okay, then she got another hit. Oh, and then now she's another hit. And then I don't think we really knew how close she was, because our coaches didn't tell her.
Yeah.
I don't think they wanted it to be like, oh, you're really close to breaking the record. So yeah, we just did our thing. She did her thing, and
yeah.
Hey, speaking of records, you got something you and only one other person have: 3 home runs in a game and the win. How'd that feel?
It was surreal. Definitely didn't think that.
What'd you eat that morning?
I think my normal breakfast. Yeah, I don't know, but we had played them. Obviously, it was against Stetson, and they were the one that put us in losers bracket on Friday. And so at that point, I was just trying to do whatever I could for the team and just hit the ball hard. And obviously, it ended up rewarding me, and just laid it all out there for the team, and ended up getting the win. And yeah, it was super cool.
The third home run, it was just a straight line.
Yeah,
that was a stark
yeah,
stroke.
I didn't know it was gonna go over. I was shocked for sure, but I hit it good, hit it hard, and good things happen when you do that. So.
Yeah, the stuff I text your dad during that game, we cannot read on air.
Well, we had mentioned the awards that you have won. Obviously, racking up the accolades, and the Owl Awards. You know, Ricky, obviously a big part of that. He got to witness you firsthand. You know, throughout the years. When you look back on your time here, winning those awards, and you know, I don't want to say that's really where it all started, because you've had such a high level of success for so long, but talk about what they meant to you, being recognized by your hometown, by somebody that your family is close to, and how you kind of carry those with you. And like we talked about, there's some of your favorite awards that you've got.
Yeah, that was my senior year, right? The first time. I just remember, obviously, like them talking about doing the Owl Awards, and I was like, wow, like that's super cool just to get, you know, everyone in the county involved. I feel like sometimes Huntland can be kind of by themselves, or, you know, not really left out, but they are, we are kind of down there by ourselves. And I just think it was super cool to just have every athlete in Franklin County together, and then just being able to just recognize, you know, the hard work that's put in. And being down, I mean, I didn't realize how many, like, great athletes there were at FC either, you know what I mean? So just being able to recognize the hard work that's went in across the county, and then just seeing that, you know, all in front of you. But it was super cool just to be honored for the county, and then just receiving the first one. And obviously, like, I think it's grown and become a big deal. I know everyone loves it. And but yeah, it was just super cool just to be in that moment. And I guess, say that I won the first one. But
yeah,
just super grateful for Ricky too, and just everything that he does, and trying to make the county better, and just in sports, and trying to make everybody come together. Yeah.
As far as being a D1 athlete, people see the games on TV. We obviously know you from being from this area, but what are maybe some of the things that fans don't see or don't realize about being a Division I athlete?
I think just like the time that it takes. Like it takes a lot of time, and I think people don't see, what you give up when you're younger. I mean, there was so many times like my friends would have a sleepover and I didn't go because I needed to practice, So I think just the ability to have that control, and I think know what you want at such a young age, because I think that's what shapes you into having the work ethic now. And I think like my dad, like super grateful that he wasn't like, oh, you have to practice, you have to do this, you have to do that, because I think that can sometimes like burn you out, because it's like, oh, I don't want to go, and
right.
There's obviously times that like maybe you don't feel like going, or maybe you're tired or whatever, but still just showing up and going, and those are the days that you get better, and obviously like learning that and going through the hard. But I just think like time management too, like there's a lot on your plate, and I think in college you get up, you go to weights, then you have class, and then you have practice for 3 hours, and then you have to go home, and you have homework, and then you have to eat, and then you have to shower, and then you go to bed, and you do it all over again. And I just think like the time that it actually takes, and I think this is with every sport, obviously not just softball, but just to play, I think on any collegiate level, like it takes time. Like it literally takes time, and it's a choice that you have to make to do that. Because it could be so easy to be like, oh, I'll just do it later, or oh, I'll just go later,
right.
Or it'll be there when I get back, but like it won't be, because you don't get that day back. And I think that's what I've learned a lot in college, is like you have 4 years, and the moment that you're not doing something, someone else is, and that's when you get past. So
yeah. Well, you kind of answered my next question. Was like, what does a typical day as a player look like? But you kind of hit on that, and
I have a question.
It seems like it's a
how'd
lifestyle.
That changed this year? Because this is the first year you've been an everyday starter.
Yeah.
Like you went from just pitching to being a two-way player this year. How'd that change?
Yeah. So in the fall, obviously, is a lot more time-consuming, I feel like, than the spring. So in the fall, let's say I would have weights at 7:45, and then I had one class in the fall. It was every Wednesday, so I only had one class. I had 5 classes, but one in person.
One in person.
And so I'd go to weights, and then I'd go to class at 9:45, and then be done around 11. Go get lunch somewhere, probably Chick-fil-A, or if I had leftovers from dinner, eat it at the locker room. And then we normally do individuals, so I would have like my pitching individual for 30 minutes, and then I'd have a hitting individual for 30 minutes, and then sometimes would have defense for 30 minutes. And that was like more individual times. And then when we had practice, sometimes we would pitch. We'd have a bullpen before practice, so I'd throw for 30 minutes before practice. And then all of us just go in the cages before practice and get extra swings. So I'd get there, probably 45 minutes before practice, out on the field hitting, and then practice for 3 hours, and then go home.
3 hours of practice there, Chewy.
2.5, 3 hours. Just depends. But
after all the 30-minute individual stuff.
Oh, yeah. That doesn't count as practice, though. That's just...
Yeah.
All right. Well, when we come back, there was a comment made in the Facebook feed from Megan Tips. She wants you to tell the story about getting chased after by cows. So we're going to have to hear that story at some point in time this morning. We'll be back on the other side. It is the starting lineup with Ashton Danley in studio this morning. You're listening to ESPN Radio 1340, 106.9 WCDT Winchester.
For over 75 years, one thing has never changed in Winchester, Tennessee. Hall Furniture has been there through it all. 3 generations, decades of trust, and the commitment to quality, value, and service that still comes first today. As we celebrate over 75 years in business, we want to say thank you to our loyal customers, our community, and to everyone who has made Hall Furniture a Winchester tradition. Hall Furniture, here's to another 75 years of helping you make a house feel like home.
Why choose More Courtney Funeral Home? Well, they're a fifth-generation funeral home taking care of the people of Franklin County since 1905. They're committed to serving you, dedicated to providing personalized, professional, and compassionate service to help lighten your burden and help you out during these difficult times. More Courtney Funeral Home, 300 First Avenue Northwest in Winchester, 967-2222. More Courtney Funeral Home.
Got a project to tackle or a party to plan? Skip the stress and rent it instead at Reliable Rental in Winchester. From tools and heavy-duty machines to chairs, tables, and event essentials, they've got what you need to get the job done right. Whether it's work or a weekend celebration, Reliable Rental makes it easy. Stop by 2433 Deckard Boulevard in Winchester or check out everything they offer online at reliablerentalfc.com. Reliable Rental. When you need it, they've got it.
When life hits you hard, you need someone who will stand up and fight back for you. Andy Davis, attorney at law, serves Southern Middle Tennessee in personal injury, criminal defense, family law, bankruptcy, and more. Call today to set up your free consultation, where you'll get clear answers, honest guidance, and a plan built around your needs. Online at southerninjurylaw.com. This is an advertisement. Andy Davis, attorney at law, responsible for content. No representation is made that the quality of legal services is greater than that of other lawyers.
ESPN Radio 1340, 1069, WCDT, Winchester.
Back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio. I'm gonna run out of music. We're talking about things in a break here. I'm getting a first class, world class softball education in studio.
So funny for that, like for me, that was 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Like that's when because I really wasn't into softball, didn't follow it, didn't care about it.
Yeah.
And then we started doing. Dad was covering Franklin County sports.
Yeah. And
I was covering Huntland, so I started covering all the softball games down there, which we'd never done before. We'd not done softball or like we did a few baseball games. That was it. But Dad and I talked and said, let's start doing everything. If we're gonna cover something, let's not leave one of the sports out. Let's cover them all. And I knew absolutely nothing about softball. So Daly and I start sitting down together. And we start talking. As he's coaching the game, I'd put a headset on him in the dugout.
That's cool.
And we would talk not when they're at bat, not when they're pitching, because he's focused on sending pitches in. But he would, while they're at bat, he and I would talk in the dugout on the air live.
Very cool.
Yeah, so we had some fun doing that. And then he'd come out. Sometimes he'd come, if I couldn't get right next to the dugout, he'd come out and sit next to me under the press box or by the press box while they're at bat, and we'd run through some stuff. Yeah. So that's how I learned softball. Yeah. Was talking to him. And then I just fell in love with the game. I started traveling. I mean, I went to California, watched her play, 5 years ago. Yeah. I went to Mexico last year and watched them play. Some of my favorite vacations here lately have been going to watch softball games.
And if you hadn't had a chance to watch any of the Women's College World Series, I recommend that you do so. You just got to be careful, though, because, and Michael just mentioned this in the break, it will ruin baseball for you because it is so entertaining, and it is so fast-paced and it's so fun to watch.
You're not blowing 3 hours.
No, and they not only do they play at such an awesome level. We mentioned the clutch hitting and some of the things that they're doing and the skill level and things like that. But again, it's hard to not find yourself sitting there smiling when you're watching because they're having so much fun. And so it is. It's Mike Edmondson says, Ashton made me a huge softball fan. Now I watch every game. I am going to watch her in the College World Series.
That's another one that's traveled to see her play.
That was my high school basketball coach.
Well, so we got to hit the top of the hour here. When we come back, I need you to tell us all of the cow story. I don't know what that involves, but Megan mentioned it in the comments section. And we got to hear that story when we come back. We got Ashton Daniel in studio with us. It is the starting lineup. Hour number 2 coming up on the other side on ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester.
Attention golfers, businesses, and Franklin County football fans. The inaugural Franklin County Quarterback Club Classic is coming Monday, June 15th to Bear Trace at Tim's Ford. Grab 3 friends and enter your team or promote your business with a sponsorship package. We'll have great golf, prizes, giveaways, food, a long drive and closest to the pin contests, and more. So help us launch this new tradition while supporting Franklin County football. Team and sponsor spots are limited, so sign up today. In an overdose emergency, every second counts, and your actions can save a life. Through the Tennessee Save a Life program, the Franklin County Prevention Coalition provides free training and naloxone to help community members recognize and respond to an opioid overdose. This training gives you the skills to support someone in crisis. When we're prepared to help one another, we're stronger together, and we're stronger without the stigma that keeps people from seeking life-saving care. Visit fcpctn.org/Tennessee Save a Life to learn more. This project is funded under a grant contract with the State of Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services.
No two patients are alike. High Point Health with Ascension St. Thomas delivers care centered around your health, your goals, your story, your recovery. From routine checkups to critical procedures, we use today's medical technology and advanced clinical practices to help you feel better, recover faster, and return home to the community you love. We don't just specialize in care, we specialize in you. Learn more at highpointhealthsystem.com.
Looking for a non-surgical approach to chronic joint inflammation? Genicular artery embolization is a minimally invasive outpatient procedure designed to reduce inflammation by targeting small blood vessels that contribute to ongoing joint discomfort. Patients typically return home the same day with a short recovery time and no joint replacement surgery. To learn if genicular artery embolization may be right for you, contact Southern Tennessee Cardiology and Vein Center or visit southtncardio.com.
You're listening to ESPN Radio 1340 AM WCDT and 106.9 FM W295 AV Winchester, serving Franklin County for over 75 years.
Looking to make a difference in Franklin County? The Franklin County Prevention Coalition works every day to build a safer, healthier community, free from substance misuse. Through education, outreach, and strong local partnerships, they empower parents, schools, and leaders to prevent addiction and support positive choices. From youth programs to community events, the coalition is here for you. Learn more or get involved today at fcpctn.org. Together, we prevent.
This project is funded under a grant contract with the State of Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services.
Farmers, gardeners, and homeowners. Franklin Farmers Co-op in Winchester is your one-stop shop. From top quality feed and seed to fencing, equipment, and even pet supplies. We have everything you need to keep your farm or home running smoothly. Our knowledgeable team is here to help you every step of the way. Stop by Franklin Farmers Co-op, conveniently located at 2229 Deckard Boulevard, or give us a call at 931-967-5511. Franklin Farmers Co-op, rooted in your success, growing with your community.
Looking for more than just prescriptions? Bennett's Pharmacy in Winchester has it all. Grab a bite from our menu, browse our boutique for one-of-a-kind finds, and sip on a Bloody Marty that's worth talking about, all in one stop. Located at 1201 Dinah Shore Boulevard, Bennett's Pharmacy is your unexpected destination for great food, fun shopping, and so much more. Call us at 931-967-2777 or come see what everyone's raving about.
At Bennett's Pharmacy in Winchester, we're more than a pharmacy. We're your partner in health.
conveniently located at 1201 Dinah Shore Boulevard. We're here to serve you with fast, friendly, and personalized service. Need prescriptions filled? Looking for over-the-counter products? We've got you covered. Plus, enjoy local delivery and expert advice from our caring team. Call us today at 931-967-2777 or stop by Bennett's Pharmacy at 1201 Dinah Shore Boulevard today.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN Radio Winchester studio, it's the starting lineup. Now, here are your hosts, Joe Abraham and Chewy.
Back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340, 1069 WCDT Winchester. Joe Abraham alongside Chewy. We've got the humpback swamp donkey Ricky Tips in studio with us, as well as Ashton Danley, All-American Florida State softball great, as well as Huntland grad. And Miss Ashton, before we get into the cow story, your father mentioned your first appearance in the Garnet and Gold at Florida State, and he said that it was a situation he's never kind of seen you in before. But talk about what he's referring to.
Yeah, we were. I went out and pitched, and I was so nervous. I don't know if I don't even remember actually.
You
if
blacked
I threw
out.
a strike. Yeah, like I don't know. I don't really remember what went on. I just remember feeling like I was really pumped up. My coach came out, and I remember my dad asking me after the game, like, what did coach just say to you? And I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what she said. I have no idea. I don't know where I was, but yeah, it was definitely an out-of-body experience. Couldn't find the strike zone. And I was like, I hope this is not what my college career is going to look like, because that's going to be rough. But just nerves and everything, but obviously got to get it out of the way. So after that, it took me a few games, but definitely a lot better. But yeah, that was definitely an experience that I had never felt before.
Yeah.
Well, injuries kind of changed your freshman year. Like you weren't expecting to pitch as much as you did your freshman year, and then the injury bug bit the pitching staff.
Yeah.
So you ended up throwing a lot your freshman year.
Yeah, we had two senior upperclassmen. One of them got hurt her foot, I'm pretty sure, and then the other one ended up breaking her rib. And so she was in and out of the season a little bit. She had to like break if it was like flaring up or whatever, and then she ended up completely like snapping it towards the end of the season. So yeah, definitely a lot more. And I make a joke, like I felt like I was drowning like my whole freshman year. Like it was just like constantly. But definitely I think my freshman year helped me to shape who I am today and kind of where I'm at today. I don't think if I had to go through all of that and just the amount of times I had to figure out how to, just get through stuff. And even when it didn't feel good, like I didn't have another choice. Like I was throwing. I think that has allowed me to be where I am at today because of, what I went through freshman year. Because if I hadn't gone through those, then maybe I'm going through it now and I'm a junior versus, having all that experience freshman year.
So what sticks out in your head? You 3 years there at Florida State now. Like, what game or play sticks out the most for you?
I will say my freshman year, we beat Auburn in our regional to go to super regional. And I just remember, obviously, like, we had lost some games that we shouldn't have lost. And that was kind of like my I did it moment. I was like, holy crap, like, I can do this type of thing. That was like the first time that I honestly didn't feel like I was drowning.
Right.
But I say like that game is, I just like remember that feeling and I can like still like see it happen, was something that I feel like I'll never forget just because of how emotional and up and down my freshman year on the mound was. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think that's like really the only one that like really just like sticks in there.
Yeah. Okay, so let's hear this cow story. And I don't know. Do you exactly know what they're referring to? Is this something that okay?
Yeah.
So Megan Tips posted in the FMO Facebook feed. Please get her to tell the story about her getting chased after by cows. All right, the floor is yours.
So at Huntland, there is a cow pasture behind the softball field in left field.
Yeah.
So when you take BP, if you hit it,
Yeah,
oppo,
as you
I'm a
probably.
lefty. Yeah. So I had a few balls out in the cow pasture,
Yeah.
and obviously you'd have to go get them because you can't leave them out there.
Mm-hmm.
So one day, I went to get it. I had to like climb under the fence, and it was like a good ways out there, and there was a cow like not too far away from me, and
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know if I can do this. Like
Yeah.
he wasn't looking at me. He was turned around. So I get like almost to the ball, and he like turns around and looks at me, and I was like, oh crap. And he kind of like bucked up a little bit, and like, you know how like a dog will kind of like act like they're gonna get you, like
Yeah.
he did that to me. And I grabbed the ball and I took off. I was so scared, but he didn't get me, thankfully. But I didn't know cows did that. But yeah, I thought my life was over at that point.
They learned she had a gear that we'd never seen before.
Yeah, I ran really fast because I was like,
Oh, that's a headline that I would not have wanted. I mean, local softball star gets maimed by cow.
Yeah.
Only in Huntland.
Yeah. Well, all right. So, obviously, and we kind of mentioned this, the season came to a disappointing end for y'all. How much motivation is that as you start to, and I know you're still kind of in reset mode and you haven't locked back in and that type of thing. But when you consider coming up short of your goals this year, from a team perspective, how much has that kind of motivated you guys heading into this offseason?
Yeah, we just kind of talked after the game, like, we got to use this to fuel us. I mean, my junior class, we've came up short 3 years. And obviously this past year we're a lot shorter than what, anyone thought we were going to be. But just like the feeling of not going when I feel like we had a really, really good chance this year to go, just kind of sucked, and we were like, we need to feel it. We don't need to just move on and go on about, the summer. And yeah, had some really good conversations, and I just remember like the first week home, I was like, Dad, I'm just sad. Like, I'm sad. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to go to the gym. I just want to sit here. And obviously softball was on, and which sucks. He was like, oh, we should have been there, but it happens. And we kind of just said maybe like there was a reason we didn't, maybe there was something bigger that we didn't see that we didn't make it,
right.
And so yeah, just I think obviously like our freshmen they didn't know what this feeling was. They'd never been in it. Obviously everyone knows like they hate to lose, but like knowing that your season is over, like they'd never felt that before.
Right.
And I think this one hurt a little bit more this year just because we were a lot shorter than we've ever been. Like our junior class, like we'd never lost a regional, so just knowing that feeling, and obviously like we don't want to, like we said in the locker room, like we don't want to feel this again. Like none of us want to feel like this again. And so just I think like the fall, like it's going to be hard, but we don't want to feel like it again. So we got to get after it, and we got to learn, and we got to grow. And I mean, we were young, like we had my class, and obviously we had a few sophomores that were in the lineup a little bit, but it was mainly juniors and freshmen,
Right.
So we had a lot of freshmen and a lot of big situations that they had never been in. And I think like next year, they were obviously not playing like freshmen at the end of the year because they were, played 60 games by
Right.
the end of the year.
Yeah.
So, they were in it, but a lot of first maybe that came up. And I think like next year we're going to be way better because of this loss, but also just fueled to not ever want to experience that.
Yeah, certainly. And you guys have a lot of talent on your roster. In today's kind of college athletic landscape, NIL money and other things like that, is there concern about like girls leaving or moving programs or anything like that, or do you guys not really think about that or talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, we've had 3 girls transfer out this year, which some of them for that, they wanted, better opportunities, and another just maybe wasn't happy, just wanted to, change up a little bit. But definitely I think we're a team that, is built off of family and built off of, our culture and who we are as people. And I don't feel like it's as much as, some of the other teams that are like chasing the money and chasing the NIL things. But I also think too, it's like, it's getting bigger in softball. Like you hear, Nyjah from Texas Tech,
Yeah.
like $1 million deal. Like,
Yeah.
super cool that, that's making it to softball. But I definitely think like there is some money in it, and there's some good money, and I think could be like life-changing money, if the right person wants you. But I think then that kind of, you have to make a decision at that point, But yeah, I think our team, like, everyone's really happy and they love it there. And I think that's just what you get when you go somewhere that, it feels like home, It doesn't really matter. Like, you love it, so you're going to stay and you're happy. And I think I talked about it a lot. I think as girls, like, we want to be somewhere where we feel like is home, and I feel like sometimes guys they don't care, like, oh, I'm going to get offered so much money, like, I'm going to go. I don't care if I don't like the guys. I don't care if I like the coach. I can just be like, whatever, But I don't think that our nature is that. Like, our nature, we want to be with people that are like us. We want to be with people that, we feel loved by, and, family. Well, I mean, I think most girls do, not all of them, I guess, but that's definitely how I am. And I know a lot of girls at Florida State are like that too. So just the ability to just love where you are, I think, is important. And I think that is kind of going away a little bit in softball. Like, I think it's getting a little bit, I'm not happy. Okay, let me go get money, or let me go do this. Let me go do this. Kind of how we saw football a little bit there for a while. I guess it's still going on, but yeah.
Well, I think that it's kind of reflective in the way that y'all have fun together on the field, and kind of that family atmosphere. When you look around the college softball landscape, is there a player right now that you kind of look at and you're just impressed by, or somebody that's like your favorite player to watch? Because that seems to be a weird dynamic to me. Like, you're one of the best players in all of college softball, but there's got to be other girls out there that you're like, wow, she's awesome.
Yeah. I would probably say, like we said, Jordy Ball, Jordy Fromm now, but she's a two-way player, like best two-way player in the country. I just think it's rare to be a two-way. Like, you don't have a lot of people that can do both. I think, like, it's okay, cool, like, you're a really good pitcher, but like, you can't hit, you know, you don't know how to swing a bat, or you're a really good hitter, but like, you could never pitch, so I also think, like, pitching in softball, like, not everyone can do it. I know our pitching coach will be like, yeah, sometimes they'll put, like, in baseball, they'll put like the shortstop in to throw a few innings, but like, you could never do that in softball unless they are literally a pitcher. But yeah, she's just super competitive, Jordy, and just loves her team. I think, like, her story that she has in softball is super cool. She went to Oklahoma for 2 years, won 2 national championships, moved back home to Nebraska, where she's from, and got a lot of girls to follow her, got a lot of girls to commit to Nebraska, and kind of just, like, changed that program from, someone that, won a few games and competed to now they're at the World Series, So I think her story is super cool, and just, I think, what she represents on, like, it's more than softball, like, her community and the people that she surrounded herself with, and she wanted to, like, play for her home, and I think watching their games, I have a friend, Rosie, she plays for Oklahoma State. They actually played them in the super regional, and she was talking to me about how their fan base, like, they were so loud. Like, she was like, I've never played in other than, like, the World Series, but she had never been to another field that it was, like, that
intense.
They were in the game all the time, and I think that's just super cool that, because of her and, maybe six other people that she brought in, or, were like, oh, Jordy's going, like, I want to play with her, and just what they made the community there. Like, I think that's, like, super cool.
Very cool.
Outside of Tallahassee, what's your favorite stadium you've been to?
We played at Virginia in the ACC championship tournament, and it was really pretty. Really nice field. I'm trying to think outside of it. Oklahoma Love Field, I played there my freshman year. It was a little overwhelming. Obviously, I was a freshman, and that was whenever they had the 4-peat team. So Oklahoma won the World Series 4 straight years in a row.
Yeah.
And the last year that they won it was my freshman year, and we played them in the Super Regional at their new field.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was beautiful for sure, and nice field, nice. I mean, just super cool to see that in softball, and just knowing that, like, that, I guess that's possible, and people can, build to that. But yeah, I would say I like Virginia and the ACC. Obviously, I think our field is, like, top tier at Florida State, but I think everyone thinks that when they're at home. And then I think
y'all have really nice facilities.
Yeah.
Like, I like going down to Florida State and watching games.
I have to go down there for
You should.
a game next year.
It's beautiful
This
down
has
there.
got to happen. All right, let's get a quick break in here. When we come back, we will continue. We've got more comments in the FMO Facebook feed. Ashton Danley in studio with us here on the starting lineup. ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester.
Looking for a reliable car at an affordable price? Stop by Money Down Motors here in Deckard. We specialize in quality pre-owned vehicles with low down payments and flexible financing options. No matter your credit history, drive away today with a car you'll love and a payment plan that works for you. Visit us at 1945 Deckard Boulevard or call 931-962-3404 for more info. At Money Down Motors, LLC. Your ride is waiting.
This is Andy Davis with Davis & Davis Southern Injury Law. I am always shocked when people who have been in a wreck do not want to contact an attorney. One reason I have high insurance limits on my own vehicle is that if I make a mistake and hurt someone, I don't want to live knowing that I've hurt someone and did not make it right and give them what they deserve. At Southern Injury Law, if someone breaks the rule and doesn't respect the damage they have caused, then we make it right. Call Davis & Davis Southern Injury Law 931-967-7000.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services is greater than that of other lawyers.
From the 931 Go Weather Center, it's time for an ESPN Radio Winchester weather update, presented by Bennett's Pharmacy.
Looks like that rain is behind us because today's going to be a bright, beautiful, and sunny day with a high of around 80 degrees this afternoon. We got some calm winds coming in from the southeast as well at only around 5 miles per hour this afternoon to keep you nice and cool during this beautiful weather. Stay tuned to ESPN Radio Winchester for all of your wonderful weather updates.
At Bennett's Pharmacy in Winchester, we're more than a pharmacy. We're your partner in health. Conveniently located at 1201 Dinah Shore Boulevard, we're here to serve you with fast, friendly, and personalized service. Need prescriptions filled? Looking for over-the-counter products? We've got you covered. Plus, enjoy local delivery and expert advice from our caring team. Call us today at 931-967-2777 or stop by Bennett's Pharmacy at 1201 Dinah Shore Boulevard today.
For over 75 years, one thing has never changed in Winchester, Tennessee. Hall Furniture has been there through it all. 3 generations, decades of trust, and the commitment to quality, value, and service that still comes first today. As we celebrate over 75 years in business, we want to say thank you to our loyal customers, our community, and to everyone who has made Hall Furniture a Winchester tradition. Hall Furniture, here's to another 75 years of helping you make a house feel like home.
Back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester. I am Joe Abraham alongside Chewy, Ricky Tips, and Ashton Danley in studio. And I got to say, I'm rocking my Huntland gear this morning now, courtesy of Fincham Sportswear. And
Big Al made a good hat right there.
Ricky got hooked up with a Huntland one yesterday, and they are so comfortable.
I'm telling you, yeah, they are comfortable. Like they feel like just really good.
Every time I put one on, I'm like, this is my new favorite hat. It's with every one of them. But this one right here, this is like the Huntland, the blackout one. It's really sweet.
I like in the white one you got there.
Yeah.
I like how inside of it has the hornets.
Right.
In the webbing.
Yeah, it's in the details, man. The attention in the details for people. I don't know, you can't see it. It's real small, but there's little hornets on the inside there on the ribbon. All right, so Ashton Danley in studio with us, taking some time this summer, hitting the reset button a little bit. She got a new puppy, Teddy. So where did Teddy come from? Is that just what she came up with? Or?
Yeah, I saw a name on TikTok, and then I think he just looks like a little teddy bear, so I named him Teddy.
Little Teddy Ruxpin. That's what he is. All right, so how are you going to manage a dog with all your responsibilities with the whole softball thing? I mean,
Sounds like Danley's got a grandpup.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Hopefully he's well and potty trained by the time I go back at the end of August. But
hopefully,
yeah, he sleeps in his kennel all night, which is good. He doesn't like being in there during the daytime, and I don't like when he's in there because he cries. I don't like that he cries. But yeah, he'll just keep me company down there, and I'll have to let him out every now and then.
So real quick, every year y'all do jerseys, like to honor someone, and your first year you did Taylor. Tell me about that, because that was really emotional. I remember watching the little video y'all did of that, and that kind of got me to tear jerk a little bit there.
Yeah.
So tell me about that some.
Taylor, she's my older sister. She's 20. She'll be 25 in June. Well, June 27th, I guess. She has cerebral palsy, and she's just a big. Honestly, I think she's more popular than I am at Florida State at this point. Everyone loves her, but yeah, she's like my biggest fan, and we do Players Weekend every year, and Coach actually started it, and just gives you a reason to just play for, like I said, playing for something bigger earlier, but actually representing the name on the back of your jersey this time. So some people, I did my grandparents this past year, and some people do their grandparents, or maybe a coach that they played for that maybe had passed away, or just something that that they play for, something meaningful for them. So my freshman year, I chose Taylor, and she wears the jersey to the game actually, so we get to keep it, and I gave it to her. But yeah, she's just awesome, and if you know her, you love her, and never met a stranger. And yeah, so she's.
So is this the sister that you modeled yourself after, your game
no,
after?
No, she's.
Or is this a different
I have
sister?
2 siblings.
Okay.
Yeah, so Maddie was the one that played softball.
Okay.
So she actually caught me at Huntland. So when I pitched, she caught. And then Taylor is. So Maddie is 22. She'll be 23 this November.
Okay.
And then Taylor will be 25.
Okay.
So she's the oldest.
Maddie's the newest teacher at Rock Creek Elementary School.
And she is.
Really?
She is a teacher now. Yeah.
Oh,
She's
congratulations.
teaching young ones.
Very cool.
Kindergarten teacher.
So if
Chewy, she can deal with you.
So if you get a kid who has a teacher who's got a bunch of Florida State stuff all over their classroom, is probably your older sister then.
There you go. Yep, that's her.
All right, so you guys are obviously, like we said, taking a break. You got a new dog now. Back to the dog here for a quick question. When you talk about having a pup, I would assume that you'd get a pup that could actually carry around a softball. This dog is so small, it's not even going to be able to return you to balls.
No, he would rather chew on like your finger, or he loves your face. He doesn't really like toys right now, so we're trying to teach him that he needs to chew on toys and not, humans. But yeah, we can get him a little 11-inch ball.
There you go.
A little one. Maybe have to get a softball.
Don't teach him to chew a softball.
That's true too.
That's the worst thing you want to learn to chew on.
Oh man.
I don't think he'll ever tear anything up. He's little.
Well, just don't leave your glove on sitting out. No, that would be, we turn on the TV and there you are, standing in the circle and you got
yeah.
Hey, how's that work? The gear y'all get. I was curious about that.
Yeah, so every year we get to customize a glove. I'm fortunate that I get to customize 2 gloves because I have to have a pitching glove and an outfield glove. And there's a few other girls on our team that have maybe like an infield glove and an outfield glove, or a first baseman's mitt and then an outfield glove. And then you just customize it. We have certain, like we can't get like a pink glove or something like crazy, but they want us to keep them in Florida State colors. And you can literally do whatever you want with it.
Can you do the blue?
Yeah, I actually had turquoise in my glove this past year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's so they were talking about road trips. What's your favorite road trip destination that you guys have ever taken?
I would say Mexico was up there. It was fun. Yeah, we stayed like in a little resort.
Yeah.
The fields weren't the greatest, but I mean,
it
was still fun. We played OSU, so we got some good competition in, and I think Clearwater is always fun. It's like travel ball. It reminds me of travel ball, like on steroids a little bit. One year, my freshman year, actually, when we played Syracuse, we actually stayed up there and went to Niagara Falls.
Oh, neat.
And we got to go onto the Canadian side. So I actually been to Canada. I guess
cool.
like the edge of it. And then we ended up just going to the ACC tournament was at Duke. So then we just like drove down to Duke.
Right.
But when we go on these long trips, they at least try to like maybe let us go sightseeing. Like when we went to Stanford this past year, we went to see the redwoods, the redwood forest.
That's cool.
So yeah, they try to, maybe get a little history or stuff like that.
Mexico's nice because you can wake up and look out the balcony and you see the whales in the bay right there.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
That was pretty.
What's your pregame meal?
I normally eat like a Firehouse sub or maybe like do you know what kava is?
No.
Like Chipotle.
Okay.
But it's like healthier version.
Was that the place we ate at after the game?
Kava?
Yeah.
No Cercheros.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna wrap things up with we're gonna send you back to Teddy here in just a moment because I gotta get my weekly mayor segment in here. But we're gonna do a new thing. You're gonna be the first person to ever do this.
Okay.
These are 5 questions that we're gonna start asking any guests that we have on a show going forward. And in fact, at some point in time, Ricky, I want you to answer these questions. We're going to probably have the mayor answer these questions at some point, but you are the very first, just like the Owl Award. You're going to be the very first person to do this. So we're going to call this the Fast 5. This is just 5 questions, and first thing that comes to your mind. What was your very first job?
I have never had a job.
That's an answer. Softball, she says.
Yeah.
What is something people would be surprised to learn about you?
I like to read.
Really?
Yes.
Do you get to do a lot of reading then on the road trips and travel and things like that?
I try to, yeah.
Very
Not
cool.
really a lot during school because got schoolwork.
Yeah. What kind of stuff do you like to read?
Like rom-com fiction.
Very cool.
Yeah.
What's your go-to comfort food?
Probably like pasta.
Really?
Yeah.
Any particular kind?
I like vodka pasta.
Ooh.
With chicken.
Yeah. If you had a free Saturday, no responsibilities, what would you be doing?
I'd probably lay at the pool or maybe go to the lake if my dad would keep our boat. And just hang out with friends and family.
And what is one piece of advice that you'd give your 18-year-old self? Which is only a few years ago.
Yeah. Just to enjoy the moment and embrace everything and just have fun, and it goes by fast. So enjoy these moments in your life right now. Don't grow up.
Well, good stuff. You survived it. Good job by you.
Yes,
The very first Fast 5 from Ashton Danley. All right. Well, we'll let you get back into it. Enjoy the softball World Series next year. We hope to see you there.
Yes,
we
me
hope
too.
to be having this conversation a lot later in the off season, so to speak. And enjoy your new puppy.
Thank you.
That's very exciting. All right, that is Ashton Danley joining us this morning on the starting lineup again here on ESPN Radio Winchester. We'll be back on the other side with Mayor Chris Guess. This is ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester.
This is ESPN Radio Winchester, where Franklin County comes to life. From local news and athletics to everything in between, we're proud to bring you the stories that matter right here at home. And it's all made possible by local businesses connecting with real people in our community every single day. When you support them, you support our local coverage. Over 75 years of Franklin County heritage. Want your business to be a part of it? Contact WCDT today. ESPN Radio Winchester. Franklin County plays here.
It's time for a local news break from the 931 Go News Center.
The Estill Springs Police Department is reminding drivers that summer school is now in session at Rock Creek School. Summer programs begin June 1st and will run through June 25th in Estill Springs. Officers are urging motorists to slow down and remain alert as students, staff, and families travel to and from campus throughout the day. Police emphasize that automated speed enforcement remains active when school zone lights are flashing. In Estill Springs, those flashing light times are 8 a.m. through 3 p.m. Officials say slowing down in school zones is one of the simplest and most important ways to help protect children during summer programming. Drivers are encouraged to follow all posted speed limits and use extra caution near crosswalks, buses, and school entrances. In Tullahoma, city officials are responding to recent criticism from local businesses regarding event permitting and what some have described as excessive red tape. Organizers for the inaugural Banana Pudding Festival, along with ownership of Neon Alley Arcade and Bar, have publicly voiced frustrations about the city's permitting process for public events. Neon Alley recently took to social media, expressing concerns about delays affecting its outdoor space. Community Engagement Officer Lyle Russell said the city requires certain permits and safety measures for all public events. He stated those requirements are not intended to hinder businesses, but are in place to protect public safety and ensure events operate within established guidelines. While questions have been raised about why certain permits were not approved despite vendors registering in a timely manner, city officials did not provide additional details regarding specific delays. The Banana Pudding Festival organizer, Brianna Hale, previously stated she was treated rudely by city staff and has vowed not to host future events in Tullahoma. Neon Alley ownership, however, has indicated a willingness to work with city leaders to resolve outstanding concerns and move forward. For more details on these stories and more, visit 931go.com. Stay informed and stay connected to your community with ESPN Radio Winchester.
When it comes to caring for your loved ones, choose a name you can trust. Inhabit Home Health in Winchester, located at 2068 Cowan Highway. We're here to provide compassionate professional care right in the comfort of your own home. From skilled nursing to therapy services, our team is dedicated to helping you or your loved ones achieve the best quality of life. Call Inhabit Home Health today at 931-967-0633 to learn more about our personalized care plans.
Got a project to tackle or a party to plan? Skip the stress and rent it instead at Reliable Rental in Winchester. From tools and heavy-duty machines to chairs, tables, and event essentials, they've got what you need to get the job done right. Whether it's work or a weekend celebration, Reliable Rental makes it easy. Stop by 2433 Deckard Boulevard in Winchester or check out everything they offer online at reliablerentalfc.com. Reliable Rental. When you need it, they've got it.
Well, that was an interesting last segment. Let's try that again. Back to Joe Abraham and Chewy. This is the starting lineup on ESPN Radio Winchester.
Back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340, 1069 WCDT, Winchester. Joe Abraham, Chewy, Ricky Tips, and now we go from probably, I would say she's probably the most famous guest that we have had on the show to like the second most famous guest. We go from Ashton Daly to just the lowly old county mayor. Good morning, Chris Guest. How are you today?
Good morning. Thanks for having me this morning.
He's the second most famous guest. You need to get more guests on.
That's what I was about to say. The bar's pretty low.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would say Chewy is maybe almost as famous as you guys. He's probably third.
He's a trendsetter.
Yeah. He's getting there. We're trying. But no, good morning. It's beautiful weather out there here in southern Middle Tennessee. Makes you excited to I walk outside yesterday, and it was like 80 degrees, just gorgeous. And I'm like, man, I am so glad I live in this beautiful county. How are things in and around the county?
Things are solid. You know, we're rocking along pretty good. We just got into budget reviews yesterday. We were able to complete probably 3/4 of the county budget, and we'll finish up Thursday. That's looking pretty positive for the county. We don't see any major hiccups with that, so hopefully we'll be able to get a operational budget by the end of June, which, you know, that makes things so much easier for the finance office to close one year out and start another year. They get a little bit of a head start, so they're not hanging around in August trying to close things. So we try to, you know, responsibly, obviously, with the budget, but try to do that in a timely fashion to make it easier for them. But
you said 3 quarters. Y'all nailed down the 2 big ones.
One of the 2 big ones. Yeah, the school systems yesterday was passed by the finance committee, and the sheriff's office will be Thursday.
Okay.
And like I said, it's people ask me about it a lot, and I always attribute it back to we have some elected officials and department heads in this county that are really responsible fiscally for the county, and a lot of people don't notice that throughout the year, but when it gets to the end and it's time to do the new budget, you obviously see the results. So the credit goes to them and the finance office and the director, Andrew Smith, for the tremendous job they do, to keep us kind of on the straight and narrow. But we're financially stable right now, so that's always good news. We're looking at, this is 3 years in a row we've been able to not have a property tax increase. So that's kind of the goal, is to try to be able to operate within what you have.
Right.
Because we understand the economy and the way things are now. And the last thing people need is for the county government to, say, oh, by the way, you're going to have to pay more here too, when gas is the way it is, and food's obviously the way it is. We don't need to add to that. So that is that all year long management that you've heard me talk about before, and it comes to fruition at the end when you start to do the next year's budget. You see kind of for lack of a better term, you see the rewards of your efforts there.
Right.
Is that no tax increase without dipping into the general fund?
That's no tax increase. Without, what you talking about, the
reserve?
We'll have to go into a little bit, but it's negligible.
Okay.
The fund balance for the county, when we get everything set for the new budget, will be as big as it's ever been. So we don't have a worry there. And I've said this before, I would not be uncomfortable until the county fund balance was somewhere around $5 or $6 million. And it's at over 13, so we're in pretty good shape there. We're going to be able to give some form of a cost of living adjustment to our employees. I'm hoping that's going to be not the recommended 2.8, but the 3.5.
There you go.
So
that'd be exciting.
It's not a tremendous amount of money, but it is a little bit of an increase for some folks. Well, everybody up and down the board. So that's good news also.
So as far as, and I believe, is it next year the property assessments are going to hit again? And there have been some areas around us where that process is going on right now as well. I want to say it was David Eldridge who came in and kind of spoke to us for a minute or so about it the other day. But what does that process look like? Because there's a lot of folks who may be confused as far as to how that affects their taxes and things like that this next year.
Well, that's right now, that's a once every 5-year process. And I've spoken with the property assessor. What we would like to do is move that down to either yearly or every 2 years, so those are not so impactful when you have those. The way that looks is, if your house is assessed at X and then people build a bunch of multi-million-dollar homes, it's probably going to increase some. But you have to put that on a scale. When I ran the first time, that was during a reappraisal year, and if your appraisal did not go up by a certain percentage, and I can't remember what it was, maybe it was 53%, you did not really realize a tax increase. So you really have to put the calculator to that. But that's the way it works.
Even with the appraisals, y'all can change the tax rate.
You can.
Yeah.
You can. Well, when I talk about the property tax rate, what I'm talking about is the common rate, which would be for me, for you. Then you have Greenbelt for agriculture that gets a discount, and then you have disabled people can get a discount. But by and large, not counting agriculture, just the common rate for somebody that's got a house in the county, that number is $199. And what that means is that's $199 for every $100 value of your property. So you're only taxed on 25% of the value of your property. So if the value of your property is $100,000, you're taxed on $25,000. You take the $25,000, divide by 100, take that number and multiply it times 199, and that's what your tax bill will be. So it's not this great big pool of money. I mean, if you own, 300 or 400 acres, it could be really significant.
Right.
But you take, say, an acre, it all gets down to what it's valued or the
Right.
appraisal. But that's the way that works. Is it's $199 on every $100 of value that your property is assessed at. That's the common rate.
Right. And that's in this coming year. That's not this year. So, folks don't need to necessarily freak out just yet over it. I know that eventually they will. But we've had some conversations with, like I said, some of the surrounding counties that are having to raise tax rates, and they're going through their reappraisals and doing all these things. And when you see that happen, I mean, some of that is just a way of life. Some of that is just us as people within the community. We're going to have to face those from year to year. And you guys, at times, you can catch a lot of flack for things that are just necessary to continue to build towards and take care of the things that you're responsible for as the local government here. But all that being said, is there anything that you're concerned about looking down the road right now, or are you fairly comfortable with where we're at and where we're headed?
Where we are right now, as far as the county goes, I'm pretty comfortable.
Mhm.
But you don't want to get too comfortable because you don't want to be lethargic.
Right.
So you always want to be looking for the next thing. Obviously, infrastructure is always, that's something you have to plan for. If you're going to have development, you've got to have infrastructure to support that. So we need to be looking down the road at things we need to do. We have 3 independent water departments besides Winchester and Deckard in the county. You have Swanee, Center Grove, and Belvedere, and we need to do, the things we can do to try to help them sustain so they can provide service for the people in their districts. That always comes to mind. And when businesses want to come, or industries especially want to come, that they're going to ask about water, sewer, power, and internet. Those are always the first 3 things, infrastructure-wise. The first 2 questions they ask are about the school system and the hospital.
Right.
But those are the other things. We feel like we've got a pretty good handle on some of that, at least. I know we just met with Ben Lohman the other day, and the things they have planned and their future out for this broadband, not a broadband, but the fiber optic thing that they're putting in. That was a state grant, and they're in what they call the last mile of that, but they went over a lot of that with us, and we're excited about what they're going to be able to provide the people of Franklin County. We've worked with them off and on since I've been in office, and they're really good to work with. They're really conscientious about the product they provide and the manner within they provide it. So that's not easy to find in today's world. So I was excited to hear what they had to say about being able to provide high-speed internet, across the county, not just in sections, because that's so advantageous for our citizens, for our students, to be able to have that capability. What that will create is it'll create people that live somewhere else that want to come here and live and work from home.
Right.
Just, but you get one with the other. You just do. You either have it or you don't. So I think that the good far outweighs the bad to have that capability. And I think most people would agree with that, because most people, the world we live in, want that proficient internet service.
Yeah.
So, a lot of people run not just their computers, but their televisions and everything else. They stream. So they want really good, solid fiber optic internet service. So that is coming. It's probably, you'll see an uptick around the end of October.
Yeah.
They already have a footprint in Swanee.
They've had that for a long time. Yeah, but it's over a major portion of the county now, and they're looking to even expand on that. They've got to install their lines, but looking forward to that. You know, so that's something that you always try to keep in mind. Just maintaining our facilities. That sounds like a easy thing, and it's not. We have right now 13 buildings that we have to maintain, and you do that. It's almost like you do with the budget. You do it throughout the year so you don't get hit in the mouth at the end of the year or 5 years down the road. So we have a couple of elevators we're going to have to upgrade. That's a major cost, but you have to do it because you have to be ADA compliant, and you don't want any mishaps with elevators. So you keep those up to date, and just the general day-to-day, replacing lights, fixing, plumbing,
Right.
Taking care of the floors, fixing holes in wall, just general stuff day in, day out is you have to stay on top of that kind of thing.
One of the things that we've talked about in the past is, and it seems to be easy to identify like the issues, right? Like it's easy to kind of say, oh, well, we've got an issue here, we got a problem here, we got to fix this there. But finding solutions is the real challenge at times, and finding individuals who can come with creative ideas and ideas that maybe would provide those solutions. From your experience, working with folks in and around the town, what have been, is it individuals? Is it when you guys sit down and have workshops? What are the best practices in terms of getting together and finding those solutions? How can we work better as a community based on what you've seen in the past? What can we do more of to get solutions rather than just identify problems?
Well, the first thing that you need is a change in mindset. I'll equate this back to, say, coaching. So I'm in a coaching meeting one day, and all the coaches are being negative, and I was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
We can't do this. We don't have any team speed. We can't do this. We can't do that. And one coach that had been at it a long time stopped us and said, you know what we need to do is find something we can do, because we got to play in a month.
Right.
So, it's kind of a mindset. Let's look at what we do positive, and let's present ourselves not only to other counties but across the state, that we're proud of where we come from, and we do think we do a good job. And, things are not gloom and doom and, oh, woe is me, and we're going to be bankrupt tomorrow and it's doomsday. Let's look at the good things that we do. And I think when you start having that mindset, you get a lot more positive outcome. You can gripe all day,
mm-hmm.
and it doesn't help anything.
Right.
Or I can sit here and tell you from now to the end of the show maybe what's wrong with your show or what's wrong with this bill. But if I can't offer, well, we'll start with you. But if I can't offer you some constructive answers or solutions to maybe improve what you're doing, what good have I done?
Right.
I've not done any good. So just to work with the community better, I mean, we have every meeting we have is an open meeting, unless we're in executive session with our attorney. The commission meetings, the finance committee, the legislature, all those are open meetings. You can contact my office anytime, and we can either give you an answer or send you to the place where you can get the right information. There's the Tennessee 250. That's a good example.
Right.
Where you're trying to do something positive for the community. And we had a lot of people volunteer and pitch in and help, and they were willing to try to make that event a success, which it was. So those type things are what I've looked to as team building.
Right.
And wanting to do, things that move the county forward and not be so negative all the time. So those are things. And, the other thing is to be involved, be informed.
Yeah.
So be informed, whatever the topic is that you're interested in, be sure you have the correct information and go to the source that's going to give you the correct information. And I promise you that is not Facebook.
What?
So, and inform yourself, and then that's what your elected officials are for. Call them.
Yeah. Well, we got to take a quick break here. When we come back, we'll wrap things up here on the starting lineup with Mayor Chris Guess in studio. This is ESPN Radio 1340, 106.9 WCDT Winchester.
It's Larry Shelby, previously on the Paul Feinbaum Show.
You know what, Chris? Let me tell you something. Why don't you go catch your breath before commenting on somebody else's? And Paxaw Tuscaloosa Jim Duggan. Just shut up, because I could strike you out blindfolded, pitching underhand with both arms tied behind my back.
Okay, why don't we take a break? I'm pretty exhausted.
The Paul Feinbaum Show, weekdays at 3 Eastern on the ESPN app and on the SEC Network.
I'm Kristen Abraham, curator of Abraham Art Gallery right on the square in downtown Winchester. Looking for something unique? Every month brings a new featured artist, original art to inspire and share with the community. Come in, explore, and discover art that's ready to go home with you today. Whether you're redecorating, collecting, or just need something that sparks joy, this is your place. We're open Tuesday through Saturday. Find us on Instagram and Facebook. Visit abrahamgallery.com or stop by at 106 North High Street. You never know what you'll fall in love with.
Got a project to tackle or a party to plan? Skip the stress and rent it instead at Reliable Rental in Winchester. From tools and heavy-duty machines to chairs, tables, and event essentials, they've got what you need to get the job done right. Whether it's work or a weekend celebration, Reliable Rental makes it easy. Stop by 2433 Deckard Boulevard in Winchester or check out everything they offer online at reliablerentalfc.com. Reliable Rental. When you need it, they've got it.
When life hits you hard, you need someone who will stand up and fight back for you. Andy Davis, attorney at law, serves Southern Middle Tennessee in personal injury, criminal defense, family law, bankruptcy, and more. Call today to set up your free consultation, where you'll get clear answers, honest guidance, and a plan built around your needs. Online at southerninjurylaw.com. This is an advertisement. Andy Davis, attorney at law, responsible for content. No representation is made that the quality of legal services is greater than that of other lawyers.
The opinions of the hosts are their own, and they do not represent the opinions of, well, really anybody else. You're listening to the starting lineup. Now back to Joe and Chewy.
Back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340, 1069 WCDT Winchester. We're going to have a conversation here in just a few moments with the ladies from the Garden Club who you want to stay tuned through the normal end of the show for that. We've got Mayor Chris Guess from the county with us in studio. And, you know, Mayor, I don't know if you've had a chance to consider even yet what is on the other side of budget season, but as we continue to work closer and closer towards solving the budget and getting it in place and all the things, and you know, some of that weight is off of the shoulders of the county, so to speak. What do you guys have coming up on the other side?
One of the first things that we've already discussed and will do is, once we get the budget through and get it passed, I will sit down with my team and we're going to update our 5-year plan that we instituted when I first came into office. And it's not been 5 years, but there's a lot of things on that list we've accomplished.
Yeah.
Some we haven't, or some are in the process of being worked on. So we will sit down and revamp that, update it so that gives us a little bit of a springboard into the future. And I've always said, you don't necessarily always just think about today. You better be thinking about 5, 10, 20 years down the road. So that's even a 5-year plan lets you look out into the future a little bit about things you need to be doing. There's some other things coming. I don't necessarily want to mention some of them on the radio right now, but there's some personnel changes that are going to take place, and it's a good thing. What's going to happen is a good thing, but it'll get a little bit of a different look probably over the next 4 years around the county. But like I said, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
What I'm talking about is positive. So you look at those, but then you go back to, you're never done. It's always it's a continuing thing, like with taking care of your facilities, making sure your employees have what they need to do the best job that they can possibly do. Day to day, day in, day out, managing of the budget. All those things are continual. There's not an end to those. So you do those, and then whatever special projects or things, the grants coming up, we found where we can write a grant for an ambulance and possibly feasibly turn around and lease that back to the ambulance service we have contracted for the county to give us better coverage, because that's been a point of contention, and very honestly, it's been a point of contention for me.
Yeah.
But that is one thing we can do to try to help, provide more coverage so we don't get into those times where we maybe don't have a bus ready to go. So we were very lucky to be able to find that. I found that out from the mayor of Lincoln County, Mr. Bill Newman, let me know about that. So we're definitely going in the process right now of applying for that. We're going to reapply for the violent crimes grant for the law enforcement agencies of the county. Hopefully we can get that again. They were able to purchase some, really needed equipment that they otherwise would not been able to have done.
I think, didn't they, weren't they able to get some training and other things like that through that as well?
Yeah, it was training. It was vests, cameras, tasers, LPRs, which are license plate readers for investigative cases. I mean, there was just a lot of different things across all the agencies.
Yeah.
So those were that grant probably has been as impactful as anything we've done. The State Water Improvement Grant for the infrastructure for Belvedere, Center Grove, and Swanee. That's just about to come to an end, but now that will help them, provide even a better service. So
Right.
give them an opportunity to upgrade some things they needed to do. So those are the type of things we look for in our grant program to help make Franklin County, safer and better.
Hey, Mayor.
That's why we're there. Yes.
You spoke about the 5-year plan.
Mhm.
2 parts here. What on the 5-year plan have y'all not hit yet, and what are you looking to add to the next 5 years?
Probably I won't say that we've not hit it, but you've never really totally completed. Okay, here's a good example. One of the things or one of the goals was to improve working relationships between the commission and different governing boards. And let's not kid each other. Really what I'm talking about is the school board. So I think we've been able to do that.
Yeah.
I think the school and the county have worked together probably as well as I've seen in a long, long time over the past just 3 or 4 years. Okay, well, you have an election in August, and, we'll have some new school board members. We'll have some new commissioners. So that process starts again.
Mm-hmm.
But they can kind of maybe hopefully take a little bit of their cue from the people that have been there the last 4 years on both sides of that aisle to kind of see how we've gone about business. And hopefully we will continue to do that. Where do we go from here? It's like I've just got through talking about the 2 grants that we're looking at right now. That's a big thing. We've got some prospects for some industrial development coming up here pretty soon for the Moon property. That's always, that's a hard deal. Those proposals take a long time, and you invest a lot of time and effort. And a lot of times at the 9th hour, they'll just say, well, we're going to go somewhere else, and that's nobody's fault. That's just the way that business kind of happens.
Right.
Well, they usually have about 3 to 4 spots they're looking at.
They usually, or like the last one we had, the one I thought we were pretty much a lock for, the national economy is what turned or changed their mind. Not a lot. You cannot blame Franklin County for that. And you certainly can't blame the industrial board or the economic development director for that. That's just something out of our control.
Right.
But we've continued to do things for that place out there to develop it, to make it more attractive. The site development grant that we're going through now to get the end cut and develop the road system in there will we hope that, and I'm pretty sure that it will make that a state certified site, and that will only increase the interest in that property. So hopefully we will be able to attract some industries to come in there and set up. So that's one we haven't hit yet, but we're striving every day to try to make that happen. For the county, for the citizens, have some good jobs, good walk-in the door, livable wages for people to, be able to live the kind of life and the speed they want to. That's, we don't need any more $12 an hour jobs. People can't.
Right.
It's just hard for people it's impossible. So that's one thing I always ask when we start talking about a prospective industry is what's their in the door wage, because if it's not livable, our interest in them goes down.
We're talking about $12 an hour wages. Chew didn't know you get paid yet.
Well, he probably gets paid on performance.
He's still paying me at this point.
Yeah, he's gonna owe you money back. But those are some things that we did hit, and maybe some things we're still looking to try to accomplish. And it's not bad to sit down and refresh. It's a 5-year plan, but every 3 to 4 years you look at it, and update it. Maybe change your focus a little bit on some things. So we will do that as soon as we can get the budget, solidified.
Tremendous stuff. All right. Well, he is the Franklin County Mayor, Chris Guess, joining us in studio this morning. Ricky Tips, thank you so much as well. Great show today as well. Thanks to Ashton and Michael Danley as well for being a part of it. Chew did a great job running it, and I was just honored to be here for all the tremendous guests that we had in studio. And we've got more coming up for you on the other side. A little bonus time as we'll have the ladies from the gardening club when we come back. This is ESPN Radio, 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester.
Spring is in the air, and so are fresh new savings at Furniture Merchandise Outlet, FMO, right here in Tullahoma. Ready to refresh your space? From living rooms and bedrooms to dining sets and mattresses, FMO has the styles you want at prices you'll love. No long waits, no sticker shock. Just take it home today. Visit them at 105 North Jackson Street in Tullahoma or browse anytime at FMOTN.com. Furniture Merchandise Outlet, where spring cleaning turns into a spring upgrade.
Got a project to tackle or a party to plan? Skip the stress and rent it instead at Reliable Rental in Winchester. From tools and heavy-duty machines to chairs, tables, and event essentials, they've got what you need to get the job done right. Whether it's work or a weekend celebration, Reliable Rental makes it easy. Stop by 2433 Deckard Boulevard in Winchester or check out everything they offer online at ReliableRentalFC.com. Reliable Rental. When you need it, they've got it.
Why choose More Courtney Funeral Home? Well, they're a fifth-generation funeral home taking care of the people of Franklin County since 1905. They're committed to serving you, dedicated to providing personalized, professional, and compassionate service to help lighten your burden and help you out during these difficult times. More Courtney Funeral Home, 300 First Avenue Northwest in Winchester, 967-2222. More Courtney Funeral Home.
Got a project to tackle or a party to plan? Skip the stress and rent it instead at Reliable Rental in Winchester. From tools and heavy-duty machines to chairs, tables, and event essentials, they've got what you need to get the job done right. Whether it's work or a weekend celebration, Reliable Rental makes it easy. Stop by 2433 Deckard Boulevard in Winchester or check out everything they offer online at ReliableRentalFC.com. Reliable Rental. When you need it, they've got it.
When life hits you hard, you need someone who will stand up and fight back for you. Andy Davis, attorney at law, serves Southern Middle Tennessee in personal injury, criminal defense, family law, bankruptcy, and more. Call today to set up your free consultation, where you'll get clear answers, honest guidance, and a plan built around your needs. Online at southerninjurylaw.com. This is an advertisement. Andy Davis, attorney at law, responsible for content. No representation is made that the quality of legal services is greater than that of other lawyers.
Farmers, gardeners, and homeowners. Franklin Farmers Co-op in Winchester is your one-stop shop. From top quality feed and seed to fencing, equipment, and even pet supplies. We have everything you need to keep your farm or home running smoothly. Our knowledgeable team is here to help you every step of the way. Stop by Franklin Farmers Co-op, conveniently located at 2229 Deckard Boulevard, or give us a call at 931-967-5511. Franklin Farmers Co-op, rooted in your success, growing with your community.
Would you call this overtime? Here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester. We will get to Reliable Rentals Swap and Shop here in a few moments, but we have a chance now, Chewy, to sit down with Miss Kathleen and Miss Lola from the Franklin County Garden Club. And next week, I believe I was told June 7th through the 13th is like Garden Week. Is that right? National Gardening Week or Garden Week?
Yes.
Do me a favor, and sorry, this is my fault. I didn't do this before we started the segment. Go ahead and pull this all the way right up to your face. There you go. Okay, so we got Miss Kathleen and Miss Lola in studio with us. So, ladies, not only do you have that going on next week, but tomorrow you've got really a kind of an exciting situation going on with the city mayor as well.
Yes. Every year we get proclamations signed by the city mayor and the county mayor. And this year we have a House resolution from Miss Iris Rutter, which she was able to obtain for us,
Yeah.
Which was very, very nice, and it's a beautiful document. This is National Garden Week is from the National Garden Club, and then down from there we've got Deep South Tennessee Federation of Garden Club and local clubs, which is our club. So that's the hierarchy for it. And the National has a proclamation which really highlights gardeners and the value of gardening.
Yeah. Well, I would say that Miss Iris, having her name be Iris,
Yeah.
it makes sense that
How
she would
sweet.
be the one to connect that with you guys. But that being said, so talk a little bit about just so that people can understand who you are and who the Franklin County Garden Club is. Talk a little bit about who you guys are as an organization.
We're a gardening club, obviously, and that's our focus. This club was founded in 1929.
Wow.
And it survived all the things that have come along
Yeah.
and digital changes, and is thriving.
Yeah.
Yes. So we have about 39 members, I think, currently, and we are always happy to have new people want to join us and have maybe new ideas or learn things about gardening. We have specialized programs every month. We do a different type of program. We do, hold on just a minute. We do, besides gardening things, and we do projects. We've done a couple of projects in the past with a couple of schools. We did Clark Memorial. We did an outdoor classroom renovation. And at North Lake, we did some renovation there where we cleaned up the area and took a flower bed out and put a walkway. So we've done some big projects.
Yeah, very
and then
cool.
Broadview, we have the garden
Yes.
for the children, so that each year Broadview, what's the grade levels that we work with
Fifth
normally?
grade.
It's normally the fifth graders at the schools that we go to, and we have gardens, and then the children learn about gardening.
That's so neat. So go ahead.
We also start at the kindergarten level, where we start reading them books about gardening.
Really?
To get them involved, with gardening, so that they have an understanding of it.
Do y'all meet on a regular basis then?
Yes, it's once a month, the second Friday of every month.
Where do you guys meet?
At the Trinity Episcopal Church.
Okay. And if somebody wanted to get involved, do they just show up and
They could just show up, or I'd be glad to give them my name and number if they want to call me, or the president is Sherry Hildago, and I could provide that information, but we'd be happy to, get you to the right people.
Yeah.
We meet at 12:45 for a social time, and then the meeting starts at 1.
Very cool. Okay, so talk a little bit about the National Garden Week, which is June 7th through the 13th next week, and what you all have going on for next week.
You want to tell? No, go ahead.
Okay.
You're doing great.
We do a number of activities. In the past, we've done one on what's your favorite tool, and we did it at the library and asked people to tell us what was their favorite tool, and our members gave the information. We also did 1 year of virtual garden. We had members send in information on their garden, things they thought were really cool about their garden. One lady sent a snow scene in that was our garden in the winter season.
Oh wow!
So that was one we did a couple of years ago. So this year we decided we would do a program involving the proclamations, because they're the important focus of the National Garden Week. And we have an enlarged poster that's 22 by 18, and then we have the city mayor, county mayor, and our Miss Iris's proclamation that will be on a table in front of as you come in the library, and we'll have information about the club, and it's going to be unmanned, but it will be there for everybody to see, and it'll remain there all week.
Okay, so if people maybe are interested in even getting involved in the club, there's probably going to be information that they can go by the library and pick up or
Right.
get.
We hope we're going to have a flyer available.
Yeah.
And just as a side note, that's usually utilized in the library in the community, is where we generally pick up all of our members, our newer members.
Right.
We have a seed library. There's a wonderful lady by the name of Helen, and she works on the seed library. And what that is, she takes heirloom seeds and she packages them individually. And then at the library, we hand out the seeds to people so that they can do the the
Okay,
plantings.
so my wife loves gardening and loves flowers, and we've got plants all over our home and all over the outside. And her mom is always sending me pictures of plants and things like that. But you said heirloom seeds. What's an heirloom? I don't know nothing about no gardening.
An
heirloom seed?
An heirloom seed would be a plant that was established. It could be 5 years ago. It could be 10 years ago. It's an older variety of a plant because
Okay.
we're trying to keep different plants alive and and thriving versus
Very
them
cool.
just fading away.
Okay, so
They
you,
hybridize so many seeds now that heirloom seeds would be seeds that have survived over time.
Right.
And they are acclimated to this area. They do well.
Right.
Tolerate the drought. Done.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm sure you've had the experience where you put it in the ground and you watch it die.
Yeah.
Yeah. That happens to me all the time.
that would be me. Now,
Yeah.
Katie, like I said, Katie has a green thumb, and around our house, she's got plants all over the place. Her mother got her into gardening and plants and things like that. Question for each of you: how did both of you get involved in gardening?
Well, my children own a landscaping business in Tullahoma.
Okay.
And they were starting the business, and so I thought, well, I'll take Master Gardener and learn to be, a gardener and see if I can help them.
Yeah.
And I also joined Garden Club at that time. So
Okay.
I've been a member for a number of years, and I've been past president for a number of years also. So I've
She's my
been there a good while. Good while.
Very cool. So you got involved due to your family's business. That's very neat. What about you?
Well, as you can tell from my accent, I'm a Yankee.
Okay. Where are you from?
I'm from northern Illinois.
Okay.
So just up towards the Wisconsin state line, not
Yeah.
closer to Wisconsin than Chicago. And where I grew up, it was predominantly Italian.
Yeah.
So everybody had a garden.
Yeah.
And you went into everybody's garden, you pick this, you pick that, and it was embedded into me that
Yeah.
that's what you did. So
Yeah.
flowers, vegetables, everything.
I am originally from Western New York. Now, we moved away when I was about 13 years old, but similar situation. We're very Italian, very proud of our Italian heritage.
Mhm.
And my mother, same thing. Our families with the gardening, and they pull stuff out, make it fresh. I mean, it is definitely kind of a part of the way of life,
Yes.
so to speak. So very exciting opportunities that you guys have coming up for folks to get involved in the garden club. And again, some very cool stuff over there going on at the Franklin County Library. You mentioned having the proclamations being signed and other things like that. What, as far as going forward, do you have anything really coming up that outside of this that you guys are working on?
This is our focus right now.
Yeah.
We're planning to try to get through the end of this. We do have the opportunity for awards
Okay.
through National Garden Club and through the Tennessee Federation. So what we do is, if a project is worthy, we think, looking at the criteria, then we will submit it for an award. In the past, we have won national, state, and local awards. So we're very proud of what we've been able to do in the past, and this will be another award that we'll submit.
So when you talk about an award, is that like a kind of like a grant to work on the project or something like that, or how does
No.
that work?
This is just a certificate
Okay.
that you get.
Okay.
And the not
So it's like a recognition. Yeah. Very
Now,
cool.
We have had some grants in the past. We had 2 grants from Walmart company, which helped us be able to do the projects at Clark Memorial and North Lake.
Yeah.
We also planted the trees at the nursing home too.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
That was an endowment fund from the Tennessee Federation. And, Home Depot has given us one a couple of years ago at the school board. So we've done things at the school board also. And the school board is a historical site because it's the site of the Mary Sharp College.
Right.
That was the college in 1851 for women, and it was one of the first colleges where women were allowed to earn a degree. And there's a really interesting bookcase as you go in the school
Building.
board building.
Yeah.
and it's just on the left, and
Yeah.
it's got all the documents that have been saved.
Yeah.
And it's got pictures of the ladies. It's got little dolls dressed in the uniforms that they
Yeah.
wore, and it's really
It is a neat little setup, yeah.
Yeah.
So Monday, June 8th at 9 a.m., you guys said that you're gathering over at the Franklin County Library. You're going to have
Correct.
the enlarged poster of the proclamation. And then on, let's see. You're
Same
gonna,
day.
Same day.
You're going to be traveling to the county annex at 10 a.m.
Which is the old high school for those of you that aren't aware.
Yep, over there on the boulevard where Mayor Chris Guess, is headed back towards right now.
Yes.
You're going to be over there at 10 a.m. for the signage and the Gold Star markers to honor the service of veterans and honor those who gave the ultimate sacrifice and the Gold Star families. And you said that Lieutenant Colonel Barry Fraley. Farley, excuse me.
No, Fraley.
Is it Fraley
It
or
is
Farley?
Fraley.
It's written as Farley, but I think it's Barry Fraley. Betty?
Okay. Nice.
Is it
You're
Farley?
bad. I'm sorry, I corrected you off of.
I don't know.
information.
I may have read it wrong.
He's Fraley, because his mother was a teacher for years here, Betty Fraley. A lot of people know Miss Betty.
So you're going to be over there doing that, and then Wednesday though, you guys are going to be over at the Franklin County Library once again for story time. The book Just Flowers at 10 a.m. and that's a cool thing. If you've got kids that are out for summer break. I recommend you bring them over there. Not only can they get involved over at the library, which we're huge advocates of, but you guys are going to be reading them a fun story as well. And then you guys have your actual meeting on Friday over at the Trinity Episcopal Church, as you guys do on a monthly basis.
Second Friday of every month.
So second Friday every month. So a full week next week. And like I said, tremendous opportunity for folks to get involved in the club, to see what you guys are working on. And it's a very cool opportunity for those who are gardeners, love gardening, or maybe they're just interested in making some new friends and learning a new skill.
Yes.
All
We
right.
are going to, as she mentioned, the seed library. We are going to go to the library at story time after they read the story. Then we're going to let the children plant a seed.
Really?
We've got zinnias and marigolds.
Very cool.
And we've got, a poster says this is what you do.
Mhm.
And we've made a journal for them just out of paper and ribbons, but where they can look at the plant and see when the roots come up.
Like the
and
progress.
document
It's a very
that.
cool.
Right. So that's a good way in a clear cup so they can actually see what goes on with it.
Yeah.
So not only are we reading about flowers, we feel like we're, doing
Yeah.
an application.
Yeah.
There are 4 books that we have donated already to the library
Okay.
and read them. These were
And
national.
to several different schools in Franklin County
Yes,
as well.
yes. Every school in Franklin County we read to.
Okay.
And those books were donated to the library in every school, and they're from the National Garden Club. And one of them is Save the Seeds. One of them is a book about nature, about the little boy who wants to use his device all the time, and he's going to grandmother and granddaddy's.
Yeah.
Well, hello. He gets to plant, and he gets to go fishing, and he gets to do all these things. And so by the end of the week,
He
he's
doesn't
got
wanna play
really
on the games.
interested in his device.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing to tell kids.
Yeah.
There's things besides devices.
I love it. Well, thank you, ladies, so much for coming in and telling us about the Franklin County Garden Club. Is there anything else that you want to tell listeners this morning?
We do have 2 people we're going to recognize at the meeting, members that have completed a garden club consult course.
Okay.
And one has completed a master gardener.
Oh, wow.
So we have, I think, 3 master gardeners in the
Wow.
organization. But we feel like with the education going on forward, we'll have new ideas and things we need to do or want to do. I was going to tell you about a couple of the programs if you've
Yeah.
got time.
Yes, ma'am.
We're going to visit a flower farm in next month. Well, this month we're going to do a workshop on designs.
Okay.
They do floral designs in garden clubs. That's not one of our strong points.
Right.
But they do flower shows, and the public is invited to the flower shows, and they're free, and they do designs, and they do horticulture. So you can learn about horticulture, which is any plant that's grown. You can do tree limbs branches, that kind of thing. But we're going this farm. It's in Manchester. I think it's called the Chisler Farm. And then in the next month, August, we're going to Jackson's Nursery. He's the gentleman who hybridized the Rising Sun Redbud.
Okay, wow.
Then we're going to also go to, well, I can't read my own writing there. We're going to do a holiday arranging flowers so we can teach people how to arrange for a holiday.
Okay.
We did some centerpieces that we got invited to do Montlow College to come over there and decorate for a meeting with their officials.
Right.
And so we did some library.
That's cool.
Yeah, neat things. Most of them were evergreens, so you could, they would stay because some of the arrangements don't last very long.
Right.
But those are the things we've done, and we're going to get to go to the FFA, or either they're going to come to us and talk about their greenhouse.
Okay.
So those would be some things that we can,
Yeah.
opportunities to learn something we don't know about.
Yeah, very cool. So those are some of the upcoming programs, again, that you can get involved in and learn about if you were to go out and join the Franklin County Garden Club.
Sure.
Well, ladies, thank you so much for coming in this morning.
Thank you for having us.
And anytime. And again, good luck next week with, and really tomorrow, the proclamations are going to be signed, right, tomorrow?
Yes. The one at the city.
The
will
one
be
at the city.
signed,
Okay.
And the mayor will sign, county mayor will have the proclamation when we're at the markers. And the markers are, I don't know if you've seen them, there's a gold star and a blue star marker.
Yeah.
And they're really beautiful markers and have special meaning. But we did no maintenance underneath them because a lot of people plant flowers and plant shrubs, and then they've got to go back and fix them.
Right, right.
So we did a thing with Philip Sis.
Uh-huh.
And he poured concrete
Oh.
around it. Ends up looking like a block pattern.
Right.
And then he did gold stars in the gold star marker and blue stars in the blue star marker.
Very cool.
So they're very, very nice documents. And they're located by the other memorials there.
Right.
So it's really a nice.
I'm going to have to go over there and check it out.
Yeah.
And I encourage our listeners to as well. Well, Miss Kathleen and Miss Lola, thank you so much for coming in this morning and joining us here on WCDT.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
All right, we'll be back on the other side. We'll get a couple of minutes of swap and shop in here maybe, and we'll be back here in just a moment on ESPN Radio 1340, 106.9 WCDT Winchester.
Thank you, guys.
25 years, one thing has never changed in Winchester, Tennessee. Hall Furniture has been there through it all. 3 generations, decades of trust.